it is, I'm under the impression that everyone is dealing with some sort of mental disorder, some sort of mental chaos. Things are not all in a equanimous state in their mind. And some people are diagnosed with many different mental disorders. Many of them stem from anxiety and depression. And what I've noticed, many people come to me, I don't know why it is, but people come to me to talk about things, to get things off their chest. So apparently a therapist of some sort. And I found a commonality. And the common question I ask people now is, when was the last time you created something? And usually the depression has set in right at the moment where they stop taking on or working on whatever project it is. If we look at grandma, for example, you see grandma's happy. Every time you come over, grandma's knitting a quilt or something like that. And you're like, why is grandma living to 100 years old? Well, she's practicing her God faculty. If we were to try to succinctly describe what God is, maybe we can say God is a creator. And if ye are gods, as the Bible states, and we are many versions of God and his creations, then we are meant to create. So any human being that is not creating is not living up to their God potential. And that is going to create some sort of mental disorder in your mind. And you're not going to know why. But it's because you are not creating. We need to have these projects. We need to have something that we're working on, something that we love, something that we're passionate about, and do that daily. It has to happen daily. And like I said, the commonality I saw with people were they got away from that. Some people are artists, et cetera, et cetera. And I asked them, when was the last time you made some art? They're like, oh, it's been 2 weeks. Oh, there you go.
Envision a sanctuary where community and sustainability are the cornerstones of living. In this haven, every family is able to grow their own food, children flourish through homeschooling tailored to unlock their full potential, and education extends beyond textbooks, instilling self-worth and a deep understanding of the world around them. Here, goodwill isn't just an ideal, it's the essence of daily life, where respect for law and order harmonizes with the community's resourcefulness. This place isn't just a dream, it's a call to action for everyone who believes in a better, more connected way of living. Join us in building a future where each individual's contributions create a tapestry of enduring harmony and prosperity. Join us in Hotepistan.
More disaster. Now we got solar flares and whatnot. The psyops are opping. The Grift report starts right now.
2, 1, boom. Hotep Jesus.
Of all the Jesuses I know, he's the Hotepiest. Social scientist and YouTube host, Hotep Jesus.
How the fuck do you get a name like Hotep Jesus?
The one and only Hotep Jesus.
Ryan Sharp, better known to the world as Hotep Jesus.
Hotep Jesus. Hotep Jesus. Hotep Jesus.
Hotep, you're a genius. HotepJesus.com.
Somebody said, what do you think you are, some kind of Hotep Jesus?
Ooh,
and
that's
I was
good.
Just like, ooh, that's sexy. Yes, I do think I'm Hotep Jesus.
Good afternoon, Hoteps. Welcome to the Grift Report, live Monday through Friday, 2 p.m. I'm your host, the Grift God.
Hotep Jesus. Hotep Jesus. Hotep Jesus.
Hotep, you're a genius. HotepJesus.com.
Oh, this is a real Hotep brother.
Hotep to the chat. Hotep to the Hotepistanis.
Hotep.
What up, y'all? Protocol, I see you. Protocol DJing at the Grifties. You didn't get your tickets yet, go to grifties.com. What up, Kamar? Kamar, the consistent beast. What up, Kamar? Fresh Mike. Hotep CPA. What up, Zach? Xantoven, I see you. Rue, what up, man? Tell Grandma I said hello. Matt Earth Theory. Haram Life. Adrian. Justine. White Mike, what's up, man? Y'all know we got Tyrus from the Gutfeld Show joining us at the Grifties. Oh, yeah. Shout out to Fresh Mike making that happen. We got Tyrus from the Gutfeld Show. We got Alex Stein, Primetime 99. Chrissy Mayer, Sam Tripoli, Sonny Johnson, much, much more. It's going to be crazy. We are 16 days away. What up, Shaq Toshi? 16 days away from the Grifties. Ooh, I'm starting to get the nervous jitters. I have no idea what's about to happen, but history is definitely going to be made. Make sure y'all go get y'all tickets. Real quick, I had a day or so to play around with the Super DAP, and I'm liking what I'm seeing. Let me show you what I'm looking at here. Let me show you what I'm looking at here. So let me make sure you guys can see the whole screen. All right, here we go. So as you see, it shows my total balance. This is all crypto included, I believe. Yeah, all crypto. And you can see up here, it has different currencies. And if you click on Bitcoin, you notice, if I click on Syscoin or Bitcoin, you'll notice that it changes your wallet. So you can actually send and receive Bitcoin now with the Super DAP. This is really cool. Obviously, Syscoin is going to be integrated. So today I was looking at the social features. Here's, what the social feature screen looks like. And as you know, this is all about groups and group communication. So all of Hotepistan will be communicating in these groups. Serious people only, because, well, you got to put your ducats up to participate. You're going to have to climb the intellectual barrier of crypto to get you some Syscoin to participate. We'll airdrop some people. We'll airdrop y'all some coins. Some of y'all can participate. What else did I want to say about that? Yeah, I think I probably exhausted that thought. So I was playing around in here, and as you can see on the left here, we have all of our chats, and if it says social next to it, that's obviously a group. And it has your popular trending topics. This is all testnet, by the way. This is not live. This is for internal use only. And as you can see here, it has a leaderboard, most rewarded users. And of course, who but I is number one.
Hotep Jesus? Hotep Jesus? Hotep Jesus?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I am number one in the Super DAP app testnet version. But mostly probably because I've been playing around with it, or certain features more than others. Really, really falling in love with this. So as you can see here, add contact. This is if I want to add somebody to my contact list. You hit here, create group, send crypto, request crypto. So you just hit send crypto. I can find his contact, change asset, and then I can send. And the government can't do nothing about it. Can nobody stop this transaction? $10,001 or more, I can still make that happen in crypto. So this is really, really, really dope. Let's go in here. No, let's go in here. This is a group I created today, just a test group. So you can come in here and you guys will all be in here, and then we'll communicate in here. So this is a web app, which makes it easy to access for all. So there's no downloads at the moment to be had. And yeah, really, really, really liking it. Really, really liking it. As I showed you before, you got your inbox, your email inbox, files, DiFi in case you die, somebody can recover your assets for themselves. Settings, contacts, and log out, obviously. And of course, you can make calls. We can make calls on here. End-to-end encrypted audio calls. All the communications in here are obviously encrypted. No, this is not really, this is all test money. So no, I do not have $500,000 in here. This is all test credits. So this is where we will be communicating in Hotepistan. I can't wait to get you guys embarked on that journey. If you want to join that journey and be a part of the digital version of Hotepistan, the financial beginnings of Hotepistan, hit the Telegram link in the description box below and join our Telegram group. All you got to do is hit the link, take you right there. Diesel said, let me hold $1. Hey, man, that ain't real money, man. That ain't real money. I wish it was. I wish it was. All right. Let's get to the gettings to. What do we got here? All right. So, woke up this morning. I got busy, you know. Let's pull that up really fast here. You know. I got busy. Got up, did my workout, hit the gym. You see it. So I'm going to be spreading some inspiration through my workout videos. You can add me on Instagram, Hotep Jesus 2. Used to be Hotep Jesus, but the original Hotep Jesus account got banned because I had the nerve to criticize a trans child. So you can't do that on the Rainbow app of Instagram. You can join me in Hotep Jesus 2, and I'll provide some inspiration, some motivation as we all embark on this journey to get fit. Get fit, not for the summer, not for the grifties, but for life. All right, let me open up my tabs here so we can talk about the solar flares. What is this? I don't know. I'm just going to fucking open up all these links here. I got a whole bunch. We got to talk about Trump sneakers. We got some other funny, hilarious videos. We got some big brain stuff in the bag today. We got some VP predictions from the Hill. Actually, from the Hill. Might get to some migrant and some simp stuff. Depends on the time here. First things first, I want to pull up an article. I want to start with the article. Let's pull this up. Where is it? Space.com. So we're going to go to space.com. Let's take a look at what space.com had to say here. So space.com says 3 hours ago, powerful twin solar flares erupt from sun as cell phone outages spike across the U.S. Says here, 2 outbursts from the sun occurred as widespread cell phone outages were reported throughout the United States on Thursday. 2 powerful solar flares erupted from the sun on the evening of Wednesday during the early morning Thursday. Flares erupted from a region of the sun that continues to exhibit strong magnetic complexity. No apparent CMEs. The hell's a CME? Not the Conference for Masculine Excellence. CME. It's not Chicago Mercantile Exchange. Anybody know what CME stands for? Let's see. Coronal Mass Ejection. Pause. Coronal Mass Ejection. Thank you, Zachary. Zachary with the big brain take. Coronal. It's in the article. My bad. So it says here, no apparent coronal massive emissions. Did I say that right? Ejections, I'm sorry. Coronal mass ejections. Resulting from these events have been observed as the time of this writing, but cannot be ruled out. Meanwhile, nationwide throughout the United States, widespread cellular outages were reported Thursday morning following the solar flares. Tens of thousands of outages were reported by major cellular carriers such as AT&T, Verizon, and T-Mobile. It remains unclear if the two events are related, but reports of outages appear to begin around the same time as the solar flares. However, some solar scientists have cast doubts and claims that there is a connection between the two events. Flares only cause radio degradation on the day side of Earth, as you can see below. The U.S. is not affected by the event, so it's just a coincidence. coincidence, is what they're saying here. Ryan French, Dr. Ryan French says some people are attributing cell network outages in the U.S. to last night's X-class solar flare. However, flares only cause radio degradation on the day side of the Earth. As you can see below, the U.S. was not affected by the event, so it's just a coincidence. Now, obviously, you know, if you want to grift, you're not exactly looking for the truth. You want to say it's the solar flares. Here we got Mario Norfall. Solar flare caused cell outage, question mark. According to the weather person in Oklahoma, a level R3 solar flare hit around the same time. Thoughts? Now, when this first, landed on my desk, I called bullshit immediately. Now, why was I able to call bullshit immediately? Well, mostly because everybody on the internet is a fucking idiot. Excuse my German. They're just idiots. So if you see everybody with a common theme and they're going to the left, go right. If they're going to the right, go left. Just go the opposite direction, and the truth is probably over there. Let's take a look at some of the grifters and what the grifters have been saying about these solar flares. Let's take a look, because people have been hard on the grift today. Here we have Jane Addams, a solar flare, quote unquote, EMP, caused a communications outage. They are laying the groundwork for two possible events: a major solar flare and cyber pandemic. The fear mongering has begun. Get low. Get low. Trish says, I have AT&T and I had no issues all day. Not last night either. I mean, send a meteor anyway. We need to be expunged. Yeah. Adrian says, why would the Wi-Fi not be affected? Because the solar flares are racist. You have to be a white man to be affected by the solar flares. Let's listen to this report.
Let's go ahead and take a look. So there was a strong solar flare event that happened just after midnight, and they actually captured an image of it right here, okay? I had to look up this scale. I wish I knew everything about space weather. That's a whole different specialty. But R3, that's...
Space weather. Is that a thing? I don't know. I'm not like an expert. Let's see. Let's type in space weather. Is that a thing? Okay, it is. It seems to be a thing. They have a wiki page. It's a branch of space physics and aeronomy, and heliophysics, concerned with the varying conditions within the solar system and its heliosphere. This includes the effects of the solar wind, especially on the Earth's magnetosphere, ionosphere, thermosphere, and exosphere. Okay. The term space weather was first used in the 1950s and popularized in the 1990s. Later, it prompted research into space climate. I already see where they're going with this. This somehow is going to tie into we got to pay for the sun's actions through carbon credits. Anyway, let's go back.
For radio communications, it's on a scale of 1 to 5, and 3 is pretty bad. That means it impacts radio communications for a few hours after this happens. And so right now that could be impacting some of our technology. And sadly, we're entering a solar maximum where we're going to see more and more solar storms, solar flares, and it's never happened in this time of human history where we're relying on technology like we have never before. So
hard-hitting journalism here. This time that we're in, we've never relied on technology so much.
Interesting time. Hopefully they'll fix it. But the good news is, at least
hopefully they'll fix it.
When you're on Wi-Fi, you should be able to still text and call people, right?
So the solar flare knocked down all communications, but the Wi-Fi good. The Wi-Fi is impervious to space weather. Zachary said that part is true. We're hitting a solar maximum. Okay. I'm not doubting it. I'm not keeping track of the sun, though. That's one thing I'm not about to do. I know some people might do that. They might find it interesting. To me, it could be interesting. It's just like, what the fuck am I supposed to do? Like, if the sun decides to fucking have a spaz fit, I'm already preparing for the apocalypse. So there's nothing else I can do.
But there is an effect on radio. It peaked right after midnight.
Cap. Pure cap. Just terrible journalism. Let's rush to the studio and report this shit.
And there you go. A flare is an eruption of energy. You have these electromagnetic waves shooting towards the Earth.
Electromagnetic waves shooting towards the Earth. Is that true? It might be. Let's type in solar flare and the most trusted. So it says here it is a emission of electromagnetic radiation. Okay. All right. Fair enough.
At the speed of light, so it's almost immediate.
Damn. It's moving at the speed of light? Is that true? Now, I don't know if I believe that. Maybe it's true, but I don't know if I believe that. But again, light is on the electromagnetic spectrum, so maybe it is.
Impact on the light side of Earth, where the sun lights up. And so there you have it.
Pay insufficient
Of energy, you have these electromagnetic waves shooting towards the Earth at the speed of light, so it's almost immediate impact on the light side of Earth, where the sun lights up. And so there you have it.
Which means that United States would not have been affected according to the doctor we brought up earlier. Let's go to the next clip. Marco Rubio. Never miss a chance to politicize an event. Never miss a chance to politicize an event. Never miss a chance to fearmonger. Never miss a chance to... What is the word I'm looking for here? Because what he's trying to do, he's trying to... What is the word I'm looking for here? Let me try and describe it. Because the first word was coalesce, but I need a better verb. Let's just finish reading the tweet and then I'll explain. So he says, I don't know the cause of the AT&T outage, but I do know it'll be 100 times worse when China launches a cyber attack on America on the eve of a Taiwan invasion. Jesus, how kind of leaps and bounds did this guy make? Just jumped way to the other side of the world to just create a hypothetical scenario. Which could be, not saying this is not a reality, or it's not possible, but damn. And it won't be just cell service they hit. It'll be your power, your water, and your bank. What? What? So, obviously, this part right here, your bank, is going to stick out the most to me, right? Your bank. Oh, okay. So you're setting us up for the CBDC. Obviously, a man who is, his favorite. How does this quote go? Your favorite tool is a hammer, so everything's a nail. That's how I am with finance. Everything's going to come back to CBDC, right? But like, if you lose your power, you lose your bank. If you lose your water, you ain't going to be thinking about your bank. If you lose your power and your water, you definitely won't be thinking about your bank. And he says and. It doesn't say and or here. It says and your bank. Why? How the fuck did he just throw the bank in there? Oh, I know why. It just hit me. It just hit me. What are we talking about these days? Offline CBDCs. Let's see what the latest story on offline CBDCs are here. Let's go, whoops. Let's go, I want to go past week. Let's go past week. Offline. Here we go. Economic Times, programmable offline CBDC to drive next fintech wave. So, to put the tinfoil kufi on real tight, what this may purport is that we'll experience some outage and they'll say, hey, listen, we got a fix for this. The offline CBDC. Programmable offline CBDC. Just another angle. Just another angle to look at this stuff at. Saying we can keep the banking system going without the power. This is true. They definitely have the technology to do this. It's being tested around the world. I think India might be one of the places. Oh, see, there you go. Right. See? Right there. Reserve Bank of India. Yeah, India is working heavily on the offline payments. Yeah. India is one of them. Who else is working on this? There's other countries working on offline CBDC payments because they want to make sure that, what do they call it? Financial inclusion, that people without technology can still transact and do everyday business, day-to-day business. So Marco Rubio, he's lost his freaking noodle. Let's go back. What else we got here? John Rich says correct. Okay. I don't know who John Rich is, but he has 1 million followers. I'm sure you guys probably know who he is. I just joined White Twitter a few years ago, so I'm still getting caught up. Darlene Hale says, these AT&T... Wasn't AT&T? No, that was ITT. Anyway, these AT&T and other cell phone users are probably experiencing a test run of shutting down the cell towers since Congress was given satellite phones last year. Kufi on tight. Kufi on tight. Let's take a look at that. Did Congress, in fact, issue sat phones? Let's take a look. Type in satellite phones, Congress. Let's see what pops up here. Senators issued satellite phones, offered demonstrations on upgraded security devices. Now, let's come back really fast. I want to come back to Marco Rubio's tweet because there's a little bit of truth here. There's a little bit of Goldstein take in this tweet. It's definitely got his kufi on tight. The thing that bothers me most is China. Oh, China did it. China did it. When it's just like, maybe China will be the scapegoat. Maybe they'll just shut it off and then say, oh, China did it. And the thing is with cyber attacks, it's hard to really trace where these things come from. You know, they're pinging data all around the world, VPNing or whatever it is that hackers do. So, you know, and we don't know no better. It's not like we got access to the servers and we can take a look, right? Look at the logs and see where intrusions occur. So they could tell us any damn thing and we'll believe it. And you know who's a very likely candidate? China and Russia. The East. Oh, just blame it on China and Russia. They'll believe it because they have been propagandized into hating China, into hating Russia. So they hide a little bit of truth in the dirt. They hide a little bit of truth in the poop. Wayne Whitworth said, I must be missing something with this show. I've been watching for days And it has got to be one of the most boring podcasts I've ever listened to. Oh, wow. Okay. Well, I'm sorry to hear that. I am so sorry to hear that. I'll try and do better, sir. Strong Dad said, had the way to get Wi-Fi since the Chinese government attacking my service. At least that's what Alex Jones said. Alex Jones got a broadcast right now. What's he saying?
Meant to enrage white people.
What's crazy about it is it's being done by white people. All these advocates,
because because they're not liberal. Sergey Brin and all those Google executives are cold-blooded transhumanists. Elon Musk knew Sergey Brin and knew the other Google executives. Larry Page, and he'd have meetings with him 20 years ago. They'd say, "We want to just get rid of humans altogether." He'd say, "I like humans." They'd say, "Why are you a speciesist? Well, why are you for humans?"
Right.
So this is all just a sabotage. It's literally like all these leftists think of themselves as aliens. That's what they are.
They think of themselves as gods because they don't believe in God. So,
yeah, and they want to be God.
If humans don't have souls, then what's the difference between AI and a human?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, the great news is I've seen all online, black people get this, though. They're like, what are you doing? What is this? They're trying to make us kill each other.
Oh, y'all heard that? Y'all heard that?
In a galaxy.
We got Alex Jones back on code.
Hotep, you're a genius. HotepJesus.com.
We got Alex Jones back on code. Welcome back, Alex. My nigga. We got Alex Jones back on code. I love to see it. I love to see it. This is why you got to step up and say something. You know, this is why you got to step up and say something. You know, this is exactly why. Got to step up and say something, man. And just help course correct things so people don't go down the wrong path. Sometimes you got to check your friends. Sometimes my friends got to check me like, yo, you bugging. You know, we all need that. So good to see him course correct. Headline here from Alex Jones reads, Communist Chinese hackers Volt Typhoon prime suspects in AT&T mega outage. I don't know. Maybe Alex got some information I don't. But yeah, I'm not buying it. But it's plausible. It's possible. It's possible. All right, let's go back. So be careful. You know, that's the key here. That's the key here. We said this before. During election season, you got to get low. They're going to throw everything at us, including the kitchen. Okay? I mean, we're talking about race war, civil war, Gulf war, Palestinian-Israeli war, Ukraine war. What war am I missing? War on fentanyl. And now we got space wars. So it's election season. They're going to hit you from every single angle possible to discombobulate you and to drive people into the polls. Whether you choose to vote is on you. I do not want to discourage anybody from voting. I do not want to do that. It's kind of, I don't know. I just feel like it doesn't serve much purpose for me to tell you not to vote. And I also think it doesn't serve much purpose for me to tell you to vote. Y'all are grown. Do what you want to do. I know what I'm going to do, but do what you want to do. You know, you're all grown. Anyway, so I posted a couple of funnies today, and we got some updates on the racist AI. So let me put this on your screen. Let's pull it up here. Wait, okay. Breaking: internet outage caused by racist solar flares generated by Google Gemini. But only one company was affected, so this was a targeted attack by Chinese solar flares on AT&T. Just a little jokey joke. Got another one here. Just in, black solar flares are hunting white people for Black History Month. White conservatives flocked to Elon's app to complain about anti-whiteness. I feel like we're going to be covering this all summer long. They're just going to find new ways to complain about racism. Kind of weird. Which leads us to our next story. We got a couple of different stories to cover today. Let me remove this stuff from the bag. Delete. Which order should we go in? No, I'm gonna play that. All right. All right. Let's do this. Let's start here. We got some Roman Empire shit too. All right, let's open this up. I'm going to show you guys a half truth. A half truth. CPAC is this weekend, so we're going to do some flashback to CPAC. And let's pull this up. We got a tweet from Tariq Nasheed. We got some big brain stuff in here too we're going to get to. But let's start right here. I think this is a clip I have not watched yet, but the headline is funny. So the headline reads, Fox News, black voters will move to Trump because black people love sneakers. Now, I can't confirm or deny that he said it, so let's listen.
I was on social media last night. Very interesting, as you see black support eroding from Joe Biden. This is connecting with black America because they love sneakers. They're into sneakers. They love this is a big deal, certainly in the inner city. So when you have Trump roll out his sneaker line, they're like, wait a minute, this is cool. He's reaching them on a level that defies and is above politics. The culture always trumps politics. And Trump understands culture like no politician I've ever seen.
Question for you on that point, though.
Yeah.
Will the people that are excited about the sneakers and excited about Donald Trump, will that translate into them going out and voting for Donald Trump?
Well, anybody willing to put $400 down for a pair of sneakers? Yeah, I think that's commitment and love. It's
hope
something.
You're right.
It's something. It's affection. I was on social media last night.
I got to listen to it again to give an honest opinion. Hold on.
Very interesting.
Because the headline's misleading.
As you see black support eroding from Joe Biden, this is connecting with black America because they love sneakers. They're into sneakers. They love this is a big deal, certainly in the inner city. So when you have Trump roll out his sneaker line, they're like, wait a minute, this is cool. He's reaching them on a level that defies and is above politics. The culture always trumps politics. And Trump understands culture like no politician I've ever seen.
Question for you on that point, though.
Yeah.
Will the people that are excited about the sneakers and
Hold on a second. What the fuck? Y'all, do me a favor. Heat this up for 45 seconds. Now Bryson Gray responded to this. Says, just to let y'all Republicans know that Fox clip is going viral and black people are comparing it to Biden and the fried chicken. Black folks are saying, no, we support Trump for economic reasons, but y'all losing basic opportunities. I'm just trying to help. Good day. I got to give you a fair assessment of this. You know, I'm going to call it straight down the middle. Bryson says, it's almost like Republicans are actively trying to push away the black vote. Being the fair judge I am, this is probably the hardest topic I've had to weigh in on. You know, especially the fact that I can't get my screen to be perfect. No, I got the OCD. Okay, there we go. This is interesting because there's a lot of nuance here. I need the tweet in my face, pause, to really assess this. All right. Comparing it to Biden and the fried chicken. Okay. All right. Here goes. I can see how people would draw, thank you, sir, would draw a, excuse me. I can see how they would draw a comparison to the fried chicken and the hot sauce. I can see that. I can see that. However, it's not a direct equivalent, right? Like, this is much different than Biden going to some black people's house, sitting down while they enjoy fried chicken. Okay. Trump didn't go to black people's houses and say, look, check out my cool kicks. That's not what happened. Trump didn't go to the Breakfast Club and say, look, I got hot sauce in my bag. Breakfast Club being a black show, or for a black audience, a hip hop, quote unquote, urban audience. So I have to say this is a false equivalency. I have to do that. I have to say it's a false equivalency because Trump just basically released some sneakers. That's all he really did. Now, with that being said, the clip. Where's the clip? So Tariq Nasheed says, no black people bought these sneakers though.
Joe Biden.
Now, obviously, there's no way to really prove that nobody did. I'm sure somebody black did. If I was a wasteful individual, I would have copped these gold ones. Can we stop right there? I like these shits. Mostly because I like high top sneakers. I like high top sneakers. I prefer black with a gum sole. I hate the white bottoms because when you walk, the white gets dirty, so you always got to toothbrush them. You need some awesome and some and a toothbrush. So I'm not really too much of a fan of the white bottom. If I cop these, they would definitely have to go inside of a case as a collector's item. I couldn't, with good conscience, wear them out the house. I wouldn't. They just cost too much. It's like a $400 pair of sneakers. So I'd have to buy 2 pairs. That's $800. I ain't got $800 to blow on sneakers. I just ain't got it. Now, I want to play the clip one more time just to make sure I'm hearing him correctly. Please excuse me. I just want to make sure I'm hearing him correctly. Because he said black voters will move to Trump because black people love sneakers. Let's listen.
I was on social media last night. Very interesting. As you see black support eroding from Joe Biden.
Okay, that's true.
This is connecting with black America because they love sneakers. They're into sneakers. They love.
Okay. Black people do love sneakers. Niggas love sneakers. That's true. That's objectively true. Objectively true. I'm telling you right now, black people love sneakers, especially that godforsaken company called Nike. Yeah, I know I burnt my Nikes years ago. I did a video about it. They covered their sneakers. I mean, black people, we love our collection of sneakers. We keep them in the box, we keep them clean, and we have hundreds of pairs of these. Jordans, Nikes, new drops, old drops, retro, this, that. So objectively, that's true. Okay? Now let's set that aside. Will this connect with black people because they're sneakers? I'm going to go ahead and say yeah. I think this will have some effect on how they view Trump. Black people are going to go, yo, them sneakers is hard or they corny or they whack. There's going to be an opinion, right? And if they like them, it could affect their view of Trump. Now, are black people going to vote for Trump because of these sneakers? No. Let's be honest. Just because he dropped some sneakers, nobody's going to the polls like, I gotta vote for him. He just dropped sneakers. That's not gonna happen. That's not gonna happen. Will this connect a little bit more with black people? Yeah, I think that this it nudges the meter by a few increments. Just a little bit, right? Just a little bit, ever so slightly. This is not like a huge win. You know, this isn't as big as when he bailed out Kodak Black or when he exonerated Lil Wayne. This ain't that big, right? But it's got a little effect. A little effect. Okay? A little effect.
This is a big deal, certainly in the inner city.
It's not a big deal.
So when you have Trump roll out his sneaker line, they're like, wait a minute.
Now, here's the issue. Here's the issue that all this has culminated into. Because of the way Fox News is talking about this, they're making it a fried chicken, hot sauce in my bag moment. This guy is making it into that. Trump hasn't said it. It doesn't say on his website, hey, niggas, I got cool kicks. It doesn't say that. But the way this guy on Fox News is reporting on this, I can see how people will construe it with a hot sauce in my bag moment, although it's not that. Fact check true, black people are leaving Biden because, well, food just costs too damn much. Gas costs too much. Inflation is killing us all. That's the real reason why black people are leaving Democrats, or black voters, I should say. Black voters, or just people who haven't voted too. They might be saying, you know what, I definitely can't mess with the Democrats this year. So, fact check true. Fact check true. All right, I'm done with this story. I can't do it anymore. I just can't do it anymore. This is the shit we arguing about on the internet. Lord have mercy. All right, let's go to the next. We got CPAC coming up this weekend. We got an epic moment here. Maj Toure put together a panel at CPAC one year. I think that was the last time they let him put a panel together. Let's listen.
How is the conservative movement, Republicans in general, how are we getting that messaging wrong?
Completely, actually. But if you go back to the idea of us now examining that black men have a conservative streak, I told conservatives that 5 years ago, like 5 years ago. And every single one was telling me I had lost my mind. They told me I was crazy. They told me I was seeing something that was imaginary. If 5 years ago, this movement would have looked at black men and said they are capitalists, if they had looked at black men and said that they want to be the heads of their households, they want to be fathers to their children, they want to be coaches to their little league teams, if they had looked at black men as something more than a conservative stereotype and talking point, we would not be here talking about the failure of the last 4 years when it comes to black America.
Come on now, Sonny.
If we had looked at what holds us together as conservatives, so if you want to know what conservatism means, it means conservation of the idea of the individual, that each and every one of us has inherent gifts that we are meant to give this world, and that deserves to be protected, even in black skin.
Come on now.
100%.
When we talk about the idea of the republic, that means that local government has the most power over the people. So when you tell me you're not going to a black community, don't tell me you believe in the republic, because you are lying to me. Anything that uplifts and conserves the idea of the republic starts at the local level. And if you are not willing to do that, then you are lying to me.
Hey, wait.
Tal Corin said this current race grift environment is exactly where HJ is needed. Thank you, man. I'm just trying to bring some resolve to it all. Hold on, we got a second part to this clip. It's, you know what's funny about this? This is so prescient. So prescient based upon where we are today. Let's listen.
And if you are not willing to do that, then you are lying to me.
Hey, wait,
the last one is the Constitution.
Hold on, let's over this.
The last one is the Constitution. If you want your rights protected, If you want your rights defended, you need a base that's big enough to make sure that defense is steadfast. Right now, you don't have it.
Wait.
With the
Damn. I think I gotta pull up a Strong Dad tweet after that. Was it Strong Dad? I think it was Strong Dad. Let me see. Let's pull this up. The Strong Dad. Let's see. Or is it somebody else? So Strong Dad had his tweet earlier. He said, "Dear white conservative, there is no such thing as systemic racism." I love how he just took their words and just changed who he directed it at. Representation in movies is not important. If you're having trouble with career advancement, it's not because you're white. It's because you have failed to pull yourself up by the bootstraps. Man up.
Oh, this a real Hotep brother.
Come on, Strong Dad. Cut him some slack, man. Oh, this is the tweet I was looking for. It was Sunny. I'm sorry. White men, this tweet right here hit me in the gut. Hit me right in the gut. White men in the GOP. Oh, man, I can't even finish reading this. This shit is crazy. This is how you just put things in a perspective. When you put things in a perspective, it just changes how you view your country. Look at this. White men in the GOP got beat by white women with blue hair and pet pronouns. By which merit should we judge you? That's a bar, yo. That's a bar. They let the blue hair white women take over. The white man let the blue hair white woman take over. By which merit should we judge you? Meritocracy. Ooh, that one cuts deep. Let's go to the next video. We're going to go to the phone lines in a little bit. Text Hotep in your name to 202-596-5631. Text Hotep in your name to 202-596-5631. This video here purports that a black man disguises himself as white to see if they would be given privilege. Let's take a look. This is old. I remember this. This is from
When I went into makeup, I had no idea what to expect. I got a new nose. I got new eyes. I got bushy eyebrows, a thick mustache. I got glasses. And voila, I was a white guy. It felt...
Tell me that's not Geraldo.
Hotep, you're a genius. HotepJesus.com.
Tell me he don't look like Geraldo. Oprah ain't shit for this. Because Oprah told her team, hey, make him look like my competitor, Geraldo. We put him out of business. She ain't shit.
Strange. I was curious to see how eager people would be to give me directions as a white guy. Excuse me, sir. Where's DePaul University? Excuse me, where can I find DePaul University? DePaul is... You know, people were very willing. Even in the bitter cold, they rolled down their windows. Excuse me, where's DePaul University?
DePaul is, go that way.
University? I didn't feel I was a threat. They didn't feel I was a threat. Okay, thank you. At this building, I breezed past the doorman. This one may have looked like a tough one, but they just buzzed me right on up. Thank you. When I went into makeup, but coming back as a black man, things were a little more difficult. With the very same doorman, I couldn't get in. I want to see one of my partners. I want to see one of my partners upstairs. This one may have looked like a tough one, but they just buzzed me right on up.
I'm looking for details.
Thank you. When I went into makeup, but coming back as a black man, things were a little more difficult. With the very same doorman, I couldn't get in. I want to see one of my partners. I want to see one of my partners upstairs.
Is this Sam right here?
On the 7th floor? I can't.
No, just go anywhere. I gotta announce you. I need to know who you're here for. If you don't live here, I need service information and security.
No, okay, we're gonna try this one today as a black guy. Same corner, same guy, different reactions. Excuse me, sir. Excuse me, can you roll your window down? He said no. Could you roll your window down?
He got work on his white voice? Yeah, he do.
Please? Please? How do I get to DePaul? Ladies, how do I get to DePaul? Excuse me. Ma'am?
Wow. Did it surprise you?
Oh, yeah, it did. You know, living as a black man, we experience the negative every day. But coming back, you just don't know how privileged white people are treated until you become one. People would give me very explicit directions as a white person. Oh, take this block this way and go about 14 steps that way. You know, they were very, very detailed exactly how to get where I was going. As a black man, they were like, over there, if they told me at all. If they told me at all. It was,
Now, it's interesting because in the building with the doorman was black.
The doorman was black. There were white ones also.
Yes, but
the doorman was black. The doorman was black. Now, I say this on Hotep's Been Told You. It's Hotep Thursday. We're going to be back tonight at 8 p.m. with Uncle Hotep. Say this all the time. Nobody hate another nigga no more than another nigga. I have experienced worse customer service from black people than I have from white people. I'll just be honest with you. We stereotype our own people really fucking fast. Now, there's one time I went to Nordstrom at the mall, and there was a black woman there, and she had the Hotep doobie wrap, all high African queen shit. Now, this sister came up to me. She said, "Do you need any help, King?" And I was like, oh shit, shorty just called me King. And you could tell she was a Hotep sister. So it's a difference between black women and Hotep sisters. And not all black women are created equal, but the Hotep sisters are a little bit different in how they express love for black men. They have a very special love for black men. So this Hotep, this black Hotep queen, she came to me, said, "Do you need any help, King?" And I was like, actually, I do. And she helped me out with my shopping experience. And I had a wonderful time in Nordstrom with her. And I think I was buying a shirt because I was going on a trip or something like that. I think I need a dress shirt or something. I can't remember. But if I get like one of them young black chicks, oh, they look at me like, oh, look at this broke, dusty nigga. Because when I leave the house, it's just, I'm hoodied out. So it's just like, look at this black dusty nigga. Now, I will say, since Black Lives Matter, white people go above and beyond now when I'm at the store. So I get really good treatment from white people. Obviously, this clip is from before Black Lives Matter. And I will say that's the one thing Black Lives Matter did. It made motherfuckers put respect on our name. That's the one good thing it did. It made motherfuckers just change their attitude towards us. And I like that. I like being treated good. Now, let's talk about the half-truths in this video. Because there's a few half-truths in this video. He tells one of them right here.
Now, it's interesting because in the building with the doorman was black.
The doorman was black. There were white ones also.
Yeah.
You see how he tried to quickly deflect? Oh, there were white ones also. Nah, let's deal with the fact that a black man let the white man in the building but wouldn't let a black man in. See, we got to deal with internalized racism before we deal with external racism. You see what I'm saying? You got to stop the white man just like you stopped the black man. Where's your credentials? I need to see your credentials, white man. You know, so why is it that, you know, he gets the benefit of the doubt, but the black man don't? Now, where's the other half-truth? The other half-truth is this. If you look, the attire is different. The attire is different. In order for me to take this video serious, I would need him to put back on the same clothes he had on. I would even prefer if he wore a suit. You'd have to do this 4 times. In order to do this experiment good, you'd have to do this 4 times. You'd have to wear street clothes and then formal clothes, and then compare and say, okay, here's how they treated the white man with a suit on. Here's how they treated the white man when he dressed like a hip hopper, when he dressed like a rapper, and see compare apples to apples, right? And see, did the black man dressed like a rapper get treated from the white man dressed like a rapper? And did the white man dressed as a rapper get better treatment or worse treatment compared to when he put on a suit? Then compare the white guy in a suit to the black guy in a suit and then see what happens. Because otherwise we don't really know, what the truth is from this anecdotal experiment. I would love to see him walk in that same building as a black man with a 3-piece suit on, with the handkerchief in it. You know what I'm saying? Like, tooted and booted. And then say, okay, I was racially profiled. Because I got to tell you, a lot of the times, like I said, I go in a store in my hoodie and I get weird treatment. Now, I went out to eat the other day with the fam for Valentine's Day. I took the fam out for Valentine's Day. We went to go eat. And I sat down and I got on my big wool coat and my hoodie and my high tops and my black sweatpants. And it's Maggiano's, right? So we have Maggiano's, and Maggiano's ain't really like, 5-star dining or anything, but, it looks pretty classy on the inside. And we had to wait. We had to wait to get a server. You know how you sit down and then like somebody's supposed to greet you? Now the greet time is technically supposed to be 2 minutes or less. That's the greet time that server is supposed to approach your table. The greet time for us was past 2 minutes. I don't know what it was, but it was definitely over 2 minutes, right? And I kind of expect that from restaurants because, like I told you before, I used to work in a restaurant, and when black people walked in a restaurant, nobody wanted to take the table, including black people, okay? One of my specialties was being able, like, I remember this one white girl came up to me. She was like, do I got a good black table or a bad black table? I was like, I'm going to walk by there and see. And I walked by there and I looked, and I'm like, yo, they some good folks. They going to tip. Okay, thank you, because I can't really tell. Like, she can't tell, but I got black radar where I can tell, all right, this nigga probably not going to tip. And these some good middle class black folks, they going to tip. You know what I'm saying? Also, you don't want to deal with churchgoers. We've talked about that in past. Everybody on Sundays just fucking sucks at tipping. It's just really weird that people leave church and decide not to fucking tip. It's just like, would you give all your money to Jesus? Anyway. So there is some racial profiling in the restaurant. So we wait past the 2 minute mark, and I don't bother to get upset because I look like a nigga that don't tip. I know it. I know I look like a nigga that don't tip. So she comes over. Our server finally comes over, and I can tell by the look on her face that she's a bit uncomfortable, right? And I got dreadlocks. I'm not smiling. I'm hungry. So I look like I might be a problem, right? Because black tables tend to be more work than white tables. It's just the fucking truth. You know, we want fucking everything in the world. We want it fast. We want it now. We want modifications. We're just a pain in the ass when it comes to dining, right? And waiting on. So I know she's coming over and she's a bit apprehensive. Now, does anybody know in the chat what the trick is if you're black to get good service? For a chance to win a 1 month supply, yeah, I definitely look a little sketchy. For to chance to win a 1 month supply of Apex, what is the trick black people need to use to get good service in a restaurant? Emmanuel Presley says Maggiano's is Olive Garden for people with good credit. You're not wrong. They gave it all to their collection plate, EMP? Yeah, they gave it all to the collection plate, man. Justine Ellison said, I've been a server. Black people are not a problem. I don't know where you live, but shit. I worked in a bunch of restaurants. Tip up front. Okay, Justine, you won. Justine won. Justine, if you want Flow or Apex, go ahead and send an email to customercare@menovorder.com. You have won a 1 month supply of Flow or Apex of your choice. Send me an email and I'll send you a coupon. First month on the house. She said it right here. Say you were a server. That's correct. Now, other people gave an alternative response. Tip up front. You could do that too. But what I find is less work and more effective is say you were a server, right? So that's what I did. She came over to me, said, hey, how y'all doing? First thing I said was, and this was the truth, I was like, yeah, I opened this restaurant. She's like, really? I'm like, yeah, I was in the first round of servers in this restaurant. I opened this restaurant. And she's like, oh, wow, da-da-da-da-da. So now she smiles, she's cool, and I'm getting grade A fucking service. And you just got to know that sometimes people in your race, they spoil it for you. You know, for example, Indians, right? I love my Indian people. I love the Patels. But when Indians come and sit at your table, you are usually not happy, right? Because a four top generally has the value of $100, and a two top generally has a value of $50. This is pre-Bidenomics, right? I don't know what it is now. It's probably gone up. So a four top is about $100, which means you're going to get a $20 tip. A two top at $50 means you're going to get a $10 tip. So you're trying to at least get 5 tables there so you can get $100 off that one table. You see what I'm saying? So you want to flip these tables as fast as possible. The problem with Indians is it's going to be 8 of them and the bill going to be $50. Because what they're going to do is they're going to order 1 salad, ask for 8 plates, order 1 pasta, ask for 8 plates, and then order water, no ice. Water, no ice. We used to call them water, no ice. That's what we called them in the back of the house. We go in the back of the house and be like, yo, your table got set. And some people ask, well, what did I get? And we know what we meant when what we got, right? We're asking, is these white folks, is these some niggas? Or you'd say, you got some water with no ice. Damn. You got water with no ice. That's what we called the Indians when they came in. We called them water, no ice. Okay? That's just is what it is. You know what I'm saying? And I've worked in a ton of restaurants, a bunch of different restaurants. I could list them all for you, but I won't. All right? So, is there racial profiling? Yes. Is racial profiling something that only white people do? No. We all racially profile. Stereotypes help us make calculations quick and on the fly. Okay? This is just the facts. Famo said, good old lemon waters. Yup. Anybody working in a restaurant knows we call them water, no ice. Now, this ain't being racist. I'm just telling you what happened. I'm not being mean. I'm telling you what goes on in the back of the restaurant when you sit down. Okay? I'm just telling you. Justine says ice takes up room. I don't think they was asking for water, no ice. I think it's because they actually wanted their water at room temperature, and you actually shouldn't get ice in your stuff because it's not sanitary. If you work in a restaurant, you know how unsanitary that ice bin is. Because everybody's sticking their hand in there and the scooper, and it's just, that shit is nasty. I'm going to tell you right now that the ice bin's nasty. Okay? It's just nasty. The fountain drinks is nasty. If you see the black gunk after you twist that cap off at the end of the night, oh, trust me, eating out of a restaurant is very risky, okay? It's very risky. So I think they ordered no ice because of the sanitary risk. That's my guess. I'm going to have to ask some Patels to find out why, but I think that's what it is. Europeans don't do ice also? Okay. Europeans are another set of fucking scumbags. Europeans tip like niggas. They don't believe in tipping. I remember I worked in New York City. The motherfuckers don't believe in tipping. You'd be lucky if you get something. You know what I'm saying? Justine says, y'all be working at nasty ass places. No, it's not that it's nasty. It's just that if I go to a table, right, and I just finish, fucking cleaning off the table, and I got to go get ice for another table and greet this table, I'm grabbing that scooper and I'm contaminating that ice. Like, no matter, there's nothing you could do to not contaminate the ice. It's just, you could wash your hands, you're still gonna fucking contaminate the ice. Somebody's gonna contaminate the ice. So yeah, that's just is what it is. All right, let's get that out the bag. Is there anything else I want to cover here before we go to the phone lines? I love talking about the restaurant business. That some of the most fun times in my life. Oh, I promised y'all some big brain shit. Let's pull up this big brain shit. Some of the most fun times in my life happened in the restaurant industry. I remember this one time, and this goes along with I'm like king of being falsely accused of shit, right? I think it's just because I'm attractive. Women think I'm attractive, so they just think like, you know, I'm always around women. So I was this black girl that I worked with, and me and her were mad cool. This is when I worked at Olive Garden, and I love telling these stories. And one day I pull up to work, and I always show up to work early. I always like to get there early, see my table, sort of mentally prepare myself for my shift, right? So I show up early. I'm like 30 minutes early. I see her outside with the homies. They kicking it. And, you know, so I walk up, and I'm saying, what's up to everybody? And she stops me, and she goes, so we smashed? And I looked at her like, wait, what? I couldn't comprehend what she said. I'm like, what do you mean? She was like, oh, okay, I ain't think so. I'm like, wait, what? Can you fill me in on what you're talking about? And she was like, well, people been going around saying that you said we smashed. And I was like, oh shit, not again. But she could tell, this is a very intelligent black girl, but she could tell by my response that it wasn't true. And me and her was mad cool. Like, we always kicked it. We was mad cool. I knew her boyfriend. Her boyfriend worked at the restaurant, and it was never nothing. In hindsight, what I think happened was, and this happened to me in high school too, a girl liked me, and when she saw me hanging around with another girl, instead of like coming to me and be like, yo, is anything going on? And what they do is they spread rumors to create animosity to prevent you from being around that girl anymore. Thank God this black chick, she was from the hood too. So if this went down, she probably would have punched me in the face if I actually did this. But she came out and told me, like, people were saying, you said we smashed. And I was just like, wow, like, damn, who? And she's like, I don't want to get into it. She didn't want to tell me who said it or what, because, you know, that creates more drama than needs to be. But it was squashed. It was cool. But, I mean, I got a million stories from the restaurant. I got fired because of false accusations by my manager. Shit crazy, man. I think that's just a product of being great. You know, when you're great, people just want to fucking take you down because they're jealous. Anyway, let's go to the last story today. Big brain information. We are going to the creator, the author of The Creature from Jekyll Island. It's a must read. If you haven't read it, you got to fucking read it.
Money will disappear as we have known it. They have this thing called the central bank digital currencies, which is something they will control. It won't be your money or mine. It's their money. We'll be allowed to use it if we obey their dictates, and they'll have complete control over us. This is why they are crashing the banking system now, because they want the dollar to collapse, so that people will be desperate, and they'll be looking to the same people that caused the problem to create a solution to the problem.
Now, look out for the stories of a dollar crash and a dollar collapse. They sprinkle them in there every once in a while. They fearmonger with this, but this is going to be one of the excuses for the CBDC.
And people will be so desperate they'll accept anything, including this horrible thing called central bank digital currencies. Now it took a long time to answer your question, but it's because they have an idea of something better for them and worse for us.
Mm.
And is this...
Funny thing is, I've never seen this dude's face before. Read his book, never seen his face.
And I want to focus on the central bank digital currencies because you make such a clear and important point, Mr. Griffin. Is this the great reset for you? that we
well, it's the
talk
it's
of?
the banking side of the Great Reset. It's that
I was concerned when she asked that question, but I love that he segmented it off and said this is the banking side of the Great Reset, which is it's kind of true. That's kind of true.
which is the major side of it. So I would say yes, it's the major view of the Great Reset.
Because the Great Reset, Klaus Schwab, the book, I did a presentation on it in the past. It has a section on their money, and they talk about digital money.
What is the Great Reset? Well, that's not just monetary, it's social and cultural as well. And it includes even the dehumanization of us.
Elon's brain chip.
It includes a lot of things other than money. But money is at the core of it because it takes a lot of money to do these things. And these people don't have that money. They create it out of nothing. That's the game. That's always been the game. So, yes.
That's true. That's true. In fact, I was putting together some homework today for the kids, and we were reading up on ancient Asia. Ancient Asia, and I want to read to you what H.G. Wells, the socialist, said about the comparison between ancient Asia and China. So it says here, individuals and communities got preposterously into debt, and the world was saddled by a class of rich men, pay attention, who were creditors, men who did not handle and administer any wealth, but who had the power to call up money. And then he continues, he says, no such development of finance occurred in China. Wealth in China remained real and visible. And then he goes on and he talks about what China used as money. Obviously, they had a barter system, and he mentions ingots of silver and other precious metals were used in the exchange. I think copper was one of them. But that's really what we're dealing with. We're dealing with people who Emily said the flow is really good. Put your link in the description box, Emily. Emily's been using the flow. Emily's gotten sales off of she's in our affiliate program. She's selling flow. Put your affiliate link in this so somebody gets some flow. That's our brain pill. But this is what we're dealing with people who, they claim that they're wealthy and whatever, but really what they do is they control credit and the issuance of money. Ask Boyce, pause. How was Genghis Khan financed? I don't know. He didn't cover the financing of Genghis Khan. Genghis Khan was, the way Genghis Khan got power was through these nomadic tribes, right? So he'd go village to village, conquer, maintain some of the structural, especially like the religious sites. He'd maintain some of that stuff, but he'd go village to village and basically convert people into his army. And he was a superior strategist. But yeah, it was just basically conversion to becoming a Mongol, and then went village to village converting people to becoming Mongols. And I think it's, it's kind of like, you ever see those little games where it's like, if you're rank 3 and the enemy's rank 2, you attack them, and then now you're 5, and then you attack the 4, and now you're a 9, then you attack the 8, and now you're a 17. It was kind of like that, where you work your way slowly, conquering small villages till you can conquer the bigger village. So it was very much strategic. But as far as who financed him, I can't say. Jeff Curtis says, upon establishing the unified Mongol Empire, Genghis Khan introduced gold and silver coins called sukis, and later in the year 1227, introduced the world's first paper money. Really? Interesting. Did not know that. I'm going to have to look into that. The Khan, yes. The Khan was the dynasty, correct. Strong Dad says the Khan dynasty funded most of its conquest. He also made lucrative deals with Rome and the Vatican. I don't know if the Vatican was a thing. Was the Vatican out yet? Maybe it was. Because that's after Constantine. Yeah. In fact, we got to go to Constantine next. Hold on, let's go to Constantine now. I'm glad you said that, Strong Dad. But the China I was talking about, this predates Khan. This is before Genghis Khan. This part of China I'm talking about. This is the Han and at the end, the Tang dynasty. All right, so where is Constantine? Hold on. You know, I got to give y'all some big brain shit. We can't just do the stupid shit. We gotta enrich our minds as well. So check this out. I thought this was rather interesting and filled in some gaps in knowledge. It says Roman Empire exposed. Let's listen.
When the Roman Empire was collapsing, there was a man named Constantine. And Constantine ended up having this brilliant idea where they would restructure the Roman Empire. He's like, okay, so how do we control everything? And they were like, well, if we rewrite history, we can write the future too, because who controls the past controls the future. And then they also realized, well, we can't really have people like reaching higher states of consciousness through spirituality and through these teachings, so let's also take over religion. People don't know is that the Roman Empire...
He just hit on something heavy right there. I'm going to bring that back right there.
If we rewrite history, we can write the future too, because who controls the past controls the future. And then they also realized, well, we can't really have people like reaching higher states of consciousness.
Can't have people reaching higher states of consciousness. And this is many people's gripe with Christianity and some of the other religions around the world, because it sort of stops at Jesus is king and that's it, right? And it's just like, well, how do you reach higher states of consciousness? And the powers that be have done a great job into making it so that, you know, things, he's going to talk about the Gnostics soon, but Gnosticism, Hermeticism, these things are looked at as Luciferian, devil worship, evil, demons. You know, reaching higher states of consciousness might even frighten some of your most religious people. You know, you say, have you ever thought about trying to reach higher states of consciousness through meditation? I remember one person once said, yoga opens you up to being invaded by demons. I was just like, I was really floored then. So this all stems, according to him, from Constantine.
Through spirituality and through these teachings, so let's also take over religion. People don't know is that the Roman Empire used to be a non-monotheistic civilization.
So Rome used to be non-monotheistic. That means they had many gods.
Meaning that they didn't believe in a single...
Now you got to understand, sometimes when I talk to y'all like y'all kids and don't know nothing, because sometimes kids are watching this show. Sometimes there are teenagers, 20-something, you know, college age, that don't know anything yet, so I have to explain some things to them.
Single God. And what they did was they then turned into a monotheistic religion. And instead, then they started like persecuting anyone that wasn't a Christian, remember? But then what they did was interesting is then they burned the Library of Alexandria. And then what they did is they went around the world.
Burn the Library of Alexandria. Why would you want to do that? Because there's a lot of information in that library about reaching higher states of consciousness.
And systematically destroyed all the ancient groups that were pre-Christian, such as the Gnostics. That's the entire reason why the Dogon ended up in Mali.
He says the Dogon. Now, if you're a Hotep, you know about the Dogon tribe in Mali. I think it's the Shabaka stone where they map out the universe, or at least our solar system, I think. Yeah, just our solar system, I believe. But it's the Dogon tribe out of Mali. So if you're in, you know, the conscious community, Hotep community, you know about the Dogon tribe. If you don't know about the Dogon tribe, because they hide information from white people too, right? Especially African history, especially African archaeology, you know, like the Shabaka stone. They don't teach white people this stuff because, you know, they love keeping white people in the mindset of superiority. That's why you see a big backlash of white people online now talking about, oh, this anti-whiteness, because it's a big shock to them, because all their life they've been made to feel superior, right? And there's not been any contribution from the African continent to intelligence at all. And it's not that they couldn't use common sense and figure out, obviously Africa did, but the evidence has not been presented to them. It's going to be hard to find a white person, regardless of political affiliation, that you can say, hey, do you know about the Dogon tribe? Tell me about the Dogon tribe. And they would look at you like, what? You know, out of the Mali Empire. There was an empire called Mali. Like, what are you talking about? You mean M-O-L-L-Y? No, M-A-L-I in Africa, Northern Africa. You know, so they hide information from all of us. And I just want to put that on your desk. Let's continue.
Because Egypt was under religious persecution from not only the Romans, but other groups. And so the Roman Empire, the Crusades, but the Christian Empire was not about just converting people to Christianity, but it was about literally destroying any echoes of the past.
Bars. Somebody get me the full link to that. Last thing I'm going to put on your desk in relation to this right here is the Council of Nicaea. If you guys don't know about that, First Council of Nicaea. And this is where he's talking about the Roman Empire, Constantine I. This is where they started forming the concept of Christianity. And this is why, like, I remember somebody in my locals, hotepjesus.locals.com, although we're going to move to Super Dap soon, she asked me, you know, why did I stop believing in the Bible and all of that stuff? And I'm like, well, when you study history, it's kind of hard to continue to do that, because it's like they tell you all these things about Jesus in the Bible, but it's just like, well, that shit was formulated under Constantine. Like, that's where they really started to coalesce that stuff to take people away from higher states of consciousness. So the Bible, in some ways, was promoted as a way to destroy consciousness. Now, if you can read through, read between the lines, if you can see the allegory in the Bible, then you can reach higher states of consciousness through the Bible. That's what Martinism is about, reaching higher states of consciousness through the Bible. That's why I say you can't throw the Bible away, but you also can't take it literally, because a lot of it is allegory. So it says the First Council of Nicaea was a council of Christian bishops convened in Bithynian city of Nicaea, which is now Turkey, by the Roman Emperor Constantine. The Council of Nicaea met from May. Consensus in the church through an assembly representing all Christendom. Main accomplishments were settlement of Christological issue of the divine nature of God the Son and his relationship with God the Father, the construction of the first part of the Nicene Creed, mandating uniform observation of the date of Easter, which they never really did settle on, and promulgation of early canon law. So all of, you know, my good Christian people, you know, you're a product of Constantine. Just is what it is. This is what it is. Hard pill to swallow, but, you know, I follow history and, you know, I don't believe in boogeyman stories. So let's go to the facts. Let's go to the phone lines. Text Hotep in your name to 202-596-5631. Text Hotep in your name to 202-596-5631. And I'll be right back after this short, brief commercial break.
Envision a sanctuary where community and sustainability are the cornerstones of living. In this haven, every family is able to grow their own food, children flourish through homeschooling tailored to unlock their full potential, and education extends beyond textbooks, instilling self-worth and a deep understanding of the world around them. Here, goodwill isn't just an ideal, it's the essence of daily life, where respect for law and order harmonizes with the community's resourcefulness. This place isn't just a dream, it's a call to action for everyone who believes in a better, more connected way of living. Join us in building a future where each individual's contributions create a tapestry of enduring harmony and prosperity. Join us in Hotepistan.
Oh, I like this question. We got Jonah about to call in. I like this question. I want to answer this question.
Call from
Jonah.
Jonah, what's up, man?
Nada. You didn't have to go and bring up our good old homeboy Constantine, did you?
I had to. What you got for us, man? Hit me with something.
Oh, man. First off, if you go to YouTube and you search like my name with like Two-Faced Deception, I've already done like 3 episodes on like Rome and all that shit with my buddy the NY Patriot.
Okay.
Including Constantine. So, fun fact though, now there's 2 actual baptismal dates for Constantine. Either he was before the Council of Nicaea, which puts him actually, let's say, at the end of his life, because I'll do that one first. But allegedly, he didn't get baptized until the end of his life, which means he did the Council of Nicaea when he was not even baptized, which is kind of funny, right? But if he did it before the Council of Nicaea, which was 325, he did it in 322, the number below skull and bones.
Ah, shit. Come on, Jonah.
Yeah.
Wait, say that again. You said he did it in 322?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
The number below the skull and bones, yeah.
Oh,
so that's
come
my
on,
opinion.
Jonah.
No, that was the one that's not the... That's the one you...
Go ahead, my bad.
That's the one that you... That's the one that you find from below, like from like when you do the deep research, you know.
Yeah.
They try to say it was at his end of his life. So then, now the other thing that you kind of missed is that when they did the Council of Nicaea, they completely erased Arian or Orion. So at the same time, Orion was actually like a huge prophet all throughout, and he had a different opinion of the Trinity. So that they switched it now. Man, you know, man, like, I can go on to this topic forever, but I'll do it real quick. So, even that guy you showed, right?
Okay.
What did he say? Who controls the future, controls the past, or whatever?
Who controls the past controls the future, right?
How many times have I said that with Janus? Oh, the two-faced Roman god.
1,000,000 times.
And the double-headed eagle, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, you know, it's just all lines up. Now. So yeah, I could go on for that one forever, but no, goddamn, that distracted me. So what you were saying about the controlling of the addresses and whatnot, right? Everything actually is all under IIA, and people need to look into this. It's called Interactive Internet Activities, and with that, they actually have the ability to completely manipulate your. Like the IP addresses.
What's it called? IIA.
I'm dropping the link in here right now because you threw me off with Constantine. I was like, God damn, you did have to bring that up. Now, even with my presentation, it was like, oh, did Constantine convert Christianity or Christianity convert to Constantine? And the answer is obvious. And then I also go through like. The papal keys are a complete complete representation of Janus. St. Peter is nothing more than Janus. Yeah. Now I dropped the IIA stuff. So this actually has this link that I just dropped off for you. It has the FOIA documents. Oh wait, that's the wrong one.
Interactive Internet Activities, the U.S. government nomenclature for fake news.
That's the wrong one. My bad. But anyways, it's the other IIA on that same website.
Okay.
They have the FOIA up there where it actually says that, in the contracts from the DOD, it's about changing your IP addresses, and they're only allowed to do with a government permission. So it's kind of funny that they're trying to act like anytime anyone of these government activities or any government actors is trying to say that they can narrow it down to another government actor, it's a lie.
It's a lie, right?
It's a lie, 100% a lie. Yeah, if you're on the website right now, that Gangstock, if you do IIA, and there's another one by Patrick Berge dated 2019, but it's updated. Patrick Berge was actually he's a whistleblower on the IIA. So he was in Iraq using these weapons against the Iraqis, and then came back. Once that contract was up. The company that he worked for, the private military company, got to keep all the what's it called, Gets to keep all the software, all the technical that they built, and then take it back with themselves. So yeah, it's it'd be the one that it's I forget what it is. Another one is 2019. Yeah, the attention journalist there, but we're behind. Anyways, so you were probably out of there.
Yeah, I found it.
Yeah, and that one there, you'll see. It actually tells you all the stuff that they could do, and the last couple ones are the big ones. But yeah, it basically says that they can create any address they want, mask themselves into any domain that they want. So anytime someone like Rubio saying it's China, they have no actual way of ever tracking that.
Right. Yeah, I kind of figured that. Yeah.
And any government actor would have the same level of technology. That's from 2007, right? So any government actor, or state actor would have the same level of technology.
It says right here, non-attribution. This method allows combatant commander to disseminate information without clear attribution. When asked if the U.S. government or DOD is the source of a specific activity, DOD will acknowledge its involvement as soon as operationally feasible, as determined by the combatant commander. If a combatant commander believes that it will not be possible due to operational considerations to attribute the internet activity to DOD, he will request an exception to policy. This method is only authorized for named operations in global war on terrorism and when specified by other security defense execute orders.
Now, what expands further on this, and this is why they're building silos, right? So if you watch Joe Rogan, if you watch like Alex Jones, if you watch the Hoteps, or if you watch fucking the Young Turks, those whatever,
Yeah.
They build silos, so as they're getting all this information through the AI, what they're doing is actually eliminating the results that I would see versus what you would see, right? So they're establishing a AI replica of us that will actually control what we see, all information moving forward once it's released.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you may not, in the future, you may not ever even speak to your mother or father because you're actually speaking to an AI version of them.
Yep. I warned my family about that recently. I said, be careful, man. One day, I'm going to call you and it's not going to be me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there's definitely, when you started talking about that, I was like, oh, God, I got to bring this up because no one pays attention to all these drops that are, out in the public, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah. That's definitely, everyone should look into the IIA. That's where all again, too, it's literally interactive internet activity. So they're literally going to be in your interactive internet.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, John, I got a great idea for you, man. When the Super DAP drops, you should create a group. And when people want access to these links and files and extrapolations, you drop them in a group, and they got to pay to be a part of that group. You make money, and they make money as the group grows. I think that'd be really dope.
Yeah, I should actually download that app then.
It's coming soon. Make sure you get inside the Telegram. The link is in the description box.
Yeah,
and
I
join.
have Telegram on one of my old devices, so I haven't done it yet, but I'll do that.
All right, there you go. All right,
okay.
man. Appreciate
Hotep
you.
Bill.
Hotep and Bill. Jonah coming through once again. Let's get Jack said he got some history today, and I want to answer this question. It's a really interesting question. It says here, doesn't monotheism limit your ability to reach higher consciousness? Maybe. First of all, we understand that the father of monotheism is Akhenaten. So let's just put that down right there. Akhenaten was the father of monotheism. I think it was Akhenaten IV. Amenhotep. What's Akhenaten's name, yo? I haven't looked up this shit in fucking forever. Akhenaten, he's Amenhotep IV. Yeah, I got that right. Cool. Amenhotep IV. So he's really like the father of monotheism. Now, I think intellectually, it might be more intense to have multiple gods. because there's a little bit more to learn, right? And you got one God, it's just like, okay, you just got to learn about that one God. But if you got multiple gods, it's like you got to learn the story about Zeus and this guy and that guy, right? So it's more intellectually intense to have polytheism. But I don't know if monotheism can limit your ability to reach higher levels of consciousness. I don't even think the two are related in any way, because if you're seeking high levels of consciousness, you can still be monotheistic. Because I'm in a way, I'm monotheistic, right? Like I believe in one power, one ultimate source of light, aka information, aka transformation, life, right? But it's an interesting question. I'm gonna go ahead and say maybe, and it depends on how you use your monotheism, right? If you do use it like Constantine, then yeah, it could be limiting. Adrian says the Bible says there are two gods. Is that in Genesis? You got to read deep into the Akashic records to answer that? Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. The monad to the triad. It's not monotheism, it's thinking there is only one path. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, thinking there's only one path. Yes, that's a great way to say it. Wood Floor Alchemist, thank you for the $5 super. How does voting work for grifties? Is it more effective to vote for just one person you want to move up, or use all your votes but vote for your guy first? Well, it's cumulative. So if you vote for everybody, it's one vote for everybody. If you want one person to win, you should probably just come back and just vote for that one person. If there's 3 people you want to win, come back and vote for those 3 people. There's really no rules to it. Jack, go ahead, call in. Let's talk to Hotep Jack. He said he said he needs 15 minutes. Let's go to Strong Dad. Let's get Strong Dad in here. Strong Dad, call in. Let's hear from Strong Dad, see what he got to add to the conversation today. The 7 tablets of creation may be Genesis. Interesting. Actually, there have been many mystical Christians, Muslims, and Jews, etc. That's true. That's true. Polytheism would not be a greater start. Maybe.
Call from
Strong Dad. Happy Hotep Thursday, man. What's happening?
Hey, what up? Happy Hotep Thursday.
Yes, sir. We out here.
Yo. So I wanted to actually give a little Apex review.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? It's been a little bit.
Yeah.
It's been a while now, and I can safely say that you know what I'm saying, it's pretty good. It's pretty good, man. You know what I'm saying? Listen. I can tell that a lot of work was put into this. I can tell its effective nature, probably more than some of the average users, just because
you're more active.
I was more active. I already had a really optimized diet before this. You know what I'm saying? I'm an athlete, so adding this to me, you know, I didn't know how measurable the effect truly would be over the long run, and I can definitely say that one, the energy component of this, I can feel. I always take a pre-workout. That's just a thing. But I ended up taking the pre-workout. I take it after my first exercise rather than right when I get into the gym or right before the gym.
Well, because your blood's flowing.
Yeah, my blood is flowing, and I just have the energy to, you know, to push out that first set before I even need to touch the pre-workout, to be honest. So from that aspect, I definitely grade it high. Give it an A+ for sure. I can feel the difference. The sleep quality, I've noticed a difference in my sleep quality. It was already really good to begin with, but it's gotten a little bit better. And as far as the libido is concerned, well, you know what I'm saying? My wife, I got a clip. I'm trying to work a way to make the clip a good ad, you know what I'm saying? But she said some candid words that I think will work great for Apex. So
Was it about the bedroom?
Yo, she said, Apex, have your husband acting like a T-Rex. This was unprompted. This was unprompted on her own time. She was, you know what I'm saying? She was pushing me away while she said this.
Yo, imagine when we drop the bedroom product, what that's gonna do.
Listen. So all I'm saying is I'm noticing the difference. I am excited to know, you know, what it's gonna be like on Apex during my prep season when I'm cutting before I go compete. I'm really excited to see what that is, because I already have a barometer by which I can measure that from last time. And also for comparison, because I know there's some people in the group who have been or are carnivore, and for comparison, because I haven't been carnivore for a little bit now, I've been omnivoring, this whole time since I've been bulking. But anyway, for comparison, the energy levels that I feel prior to pre-workout or just throughout the day are comparable to when I was optimized on keto. And if anybody knows anything about keto, for those who adapt to it really well, one of the things you talk about is the lack of brain fog and the energy that they get from it. And I noticed that same type of feeling when inserting Apex into my regimen. So I just, you know what I'm saying? Had to
listen.
And listen, I am, because I know, listen, I'm not biased. I am very, very critical. You can ask Chad. We had a talk about Apex when we were doing our first Black Dad, White Dad episode, and you can ask him. I said, I don't know if this shit gonna work. You know what I'm saying? Let me tell you about testosterone boosters and all this, yada, yada. So I'm very critical. So, you know,
I love that.
This is
that means it's a real testimony.
This is a good product. And, you know what I'm saying? I like it. I like this product just as much as I like creatine.
And I love snorting that creatine.
Yo, you know what I'm saying? Chopping that creatine up. There's nothing like some creatine on a glass table, you know what I'm saying? Right before a good leg session. Y'all do not snort creatine. Do not snort creatine. You will fuck yourself up.
Creatine's so white, you got to snort it, man. I'm telling you.
Yo. Hey, but I'm pretty sure that the Khan dynasty, when it came time to Genghis, I'm pretty sure the majority of his wealth had already been accumulated.
Yes.
I mean, I don't want to speak definitively, but I know that he conscripted a lot of advisors from conquering regions, and they brought their wealth with them often, or their partnership equated to wealth. So, you know, where it would cost to move an army through one region, that region was supported by conquering it or whatever. So I think that was the mechanism by, you know, the majority of his conquest came through that, and just making mad babies, y'all. Y'all, most of the people in this chat are probably related in some way to this nigga. It's it's so crazy. How could a nigga spread so far? Pause, nigga. Yo, my nigga Genghis was out there. He had the real Apex. Whatever he had.
He had access to the original goods.
He had access to the original goods for sure. But yeah, man, that's really all I got, you know what I'm saying? Alex Jones, he got the call again, and they said, listen, you cannot drop character. We need to continue monitoring Hotep Jesus up close, and your relationship with him must stand. So I'm going to need you to just backpedal a little bit. You know, you don't have to do a full backpedal, just kind of shift the conversation so that people are thinking about, you know, how you two are going to work together in the future. We don't want to see any disruption. He's a really good asset, and yeah.
Goofy on tight. Oh, Lord. All right, man. Appreciate you, bro. Hotep and Bill. I want to talk about Apex really fast because people have been asking questions in the chat. And so somebody asked what's in it, right? So one of the main ingredients is called black maca, and this is something that the Incan warriors used before they went into battle. It also contains sarsaparilla. And keep in mind, these all have libido effects, right? So aside from energy, you definitely gonna, I don't know how to say this, but I gotta say it plain English. You're gonna feel it in your nuts. Your nuts is gonna feel strong. You're gonna feel very ready to go, okay? Your man's down bottom is gonna be very happy, okay? That's I can feel the energy, the vitality, and and my man's he like, yeah, keep this shit up. You know what I mean? So black maca, this was for vitality. It contains sarsaparilla. Now, sarsaparilla is something that I first heard from Dr. Sebi, and he talked about it. I had no idea about it, but this was used by cowboys in the Wild West. They used to make this thing called sarsaparilla root beer, and it was an aphrodisiac, so keeping your man strong. Also, sarsaparilla is a saponin, and a saponin is nature's steroid. That's like literally what they call it. It's like a natural steroid. It's not steroids like you think, but it's a natural steroid by the way it interacts with your body. The other main ingredient is milky oats, and milky oats is where sow your wild oats comes from. So have you ever heard the phrase sow your wild oats? It comes from this plant called milky oats. And then another key ingredient is fenugreek. Fenugreek is the seed of a fenugreek was found in King Tut's tomb, just to show you, the importance of that to the ancient Egyptians. And it was in the Ebers papyrus, and which is a Egyptian medical document, and it mentions fenugreek. The ancient Greeks used it, the Romans used it, and maybe even Genghis Khan. Maybe Genghis Khan had access to fenugreek. So we've taken all of these things that great warriors and great men used over the past, created an exact and right formulation. So, because it's going to be kind of expensive, right? I think that's like one of the main benefits of using the Men of Water products is that if you were to go out and buy black maca, buy sarsaparilla, buy all 11 ingredients, that's a lot of fucking pills to take, not to mention how much it's going to cost you. So our herbalist decided, what is the right dosage for each, and we have our own special formula that we formulated. And that's what it's in Apex. So this is our testosterone support product that Strong Dad was just talking about. And if you're active, you're going to feel the benefits more than somebody that's a sloth. If you're a sloth, please don't go to menofwater.com. Get your life together, get some sleep, learn how to eat right, then come back, because then you're going to tell me, oh, I didn't feel anything. Yeah, because you didn't fucking do anything, bro. So I don't want to hear from anybody. I don't want your shitty ass reviews. Oh, it didn't do anything. Well, what'd you do? You sat on your ass all day and played video games and expected to get something out of this? No, you got to hit the gym. You got to be active. And then you'll feel the benefits. Although you'll probably feel the benefits in your loins. Who's this? All right. Are those VIP tickets? Somebody says they can't make it to the Grifties and want to give away their tickets. So I want to see if he's talking about VIP tickets or regular tickets. Let's get Rudy on the line here. Let's talk to Rudy. See what Rudy got. We got Brendan waiting in the wing. Where's Rudy? That's Rudy right there. Rudy, call in. Let's hear from Rudy. Let me check on some breaking news. See if we got anything happening. Maybe some solar flares have entered the Earth and we don't know it yet. What the hell is this?
Call from
Hotep Jack, the Viking.
Jack, what up, man?
Oh, good afternoon. Happy Hotep Thursday, mentor.
Hey, man. Happy Hotep Thursday, man. How you feeling, man?
I apologize for my voice. I got a slight head cold. I haven't been sleeping. But anyways, I got
this
some
Jack
history
Reeves,
for
the
you guys.
Hotep. Oh, what up, Jack?
Yeah, I got a new cell phone. I couldn't figure out how to log into my old YouTube account, so I
came up with something different. I'll figure it out. I'm kind of boomer tech when it comes to this shit. That's why I got 2 cell phones right now to show you this. This kind of correlates to everything we're talking about with history. So if you can bring this up for people, John Rogers, February 4th, 1555. This was my ancestor, direct descendant of the Rogers. What he did was he translated the Bible, the Christian Bible, and then they burned him at the stake in front of his family and his kids. Before that, it's kind of what we were going on about. Jonah was bringing up about, the gatekeeping of knowledge. You went into that earlier with Constantine. And basically at that time, people weren't even allowed to basically read. They didn't have you went to church to hear reading, music, this and that. But yeah, there should be a picture of him actually being burned at the stake. And before he did that, basically nobody was able to read the Bible except for, the priests in the church and this and that. So
they didn't want people reading.
No, they didn't want anybody, and this is, way after, the fall of Rome. They had Roman statues and buildings in England. They thought they were fucking mythological gods that built the shit, and let's see, again.
Yeah, a lot of those statues that they claim are from Rome are actually modern, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it's been rebuilt. I mean, look at Istanbul. They had to dig down, not Istanbul, Alexandria in Egypt. They had to dig down like 50 feet to even find the fucking foundations that Alexander laid out himself on that fucking island.
Oh, yeah, I saw that on the Netflix show.
Yeah. The thing they didn't tell you about Alexander was when he was 9 years old, he broke Bucephalus, his war horse. King Philip's generals were trying to break this horse.
I remember that story.
And Alexander fucking realized the horse was afraid of its shadow, and he walked up and he fucking pointed at the ground, and he jumped on the back. Then he rode that horse all the way to fucking Egypt. He came up to Memphis and he spoke Hotep, and then they made him emperor. And he rode that horse all the way to India, where Bucephalus died in battle, fighting the Indians, the East Indies, not the ones with dots on their heads, but I mean they're all related. So back to the gatekeeping. Like Jonah was saying with the, they got the crypto bunkers or fucking not that shit. Like I got a fucking head cold. My brain fog is brutal. But yeah, I just wanted to bring up that little history lesson. My ancestor John Rogers, he tried to push through to people, and then he got the word out. I've shown that article to many people, including Pastor Bill with the VFW, and he was just like blown away. He's like, "This is your ancestor?" I'm like, "Yeah."
Damn.
I'm a direct descendant of that guy, man.
Wow. Amazing.
So that's the gatekeeping, man, and like Jonah said, it's
so
going to begin
when he
again.
translated the Bible, why did they burn him? Was it because he was reading, or was it because they didn't agree with him, or what?
No, because he put it out. Nobody was allowed to read the Bible unless you were basically a priest.
Yeah.
A clergy, yeah. I mean, they had those special boys that would, translate it and write it, and draw the pictures and everything.
Yeah.
And some of them couldn't even fucking read.
Right.
So you think the gatekeeping that was going on about this knowledge, and this is a very dark time. Again, that number 2455, 1555. There's some weird correlation there. But yeah, no, they were like, motherfucker, you're giving our gatekeeping knowledge to the public. So they're like, oh, we're going to fucking burn your house at the stake in front of the whole town, your wife and kids. And, his kids went on to have more kids. That's why I'm related to him. But, Yeah, essentially, you know, they were the kings of gatekeeping, and again, you know, like what Constantine was saying, they, you know, did this with their version of the Bible. I guess we know it as King James, or the First Step, Old Testament, yada yada. You know, which has been rewritten, you know, for 1,500 years since, you know, they got the Mormon Bible with their Star Wars Jesus now and shit. So who knows what it's going to be in another 500 years.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, man, appreciate that tidbit, bro.
Oh, yeah. Hey, man. Happy Hotep Thursday. Blessings to Hotep Nation. Shalom. Peace be with you. Go with the gods. And Lord Jesus Christ, blessings to all. Hotep and build.
Hotep and build. Let's talk to Brendan. Brendan, calling. So we got regular tickets to the Grifties. Anybody want tickets to the Grifties? We got two here looking to give away. Hey, drop it in the chat, bro. Drop it in the chat so people can get your contact and then get it direct from you, man. Martin Luther was 159, I think, but yeah, John Rogers made available like a pocket version. Interesting.
Call from
Brendan.
Brendan, what's happening, man?
Oh, not much. How's it going today?
Good. What's up, man?
I was calling to talk about the solar flares.
Okay, tell me what do you know about this?
So far, what I have seen has happened today was that multiple carriers and Starlink all received interruptions. It wasn't just AT&T.
Okay.
So multiple carriers at once carrying out a simultaneous cyber attack like that, it's essentially impossible since it's multiple different sources. So that does point towards it was a solar flare.
Okay.
And as far as like space weather, there's one guy I follow called Ben Davison. His Twitter handle is Space Weatherman. He's got a pretty elaborate theory, has a pretty deep rabbit hole. But essentially, his theory is our magnetic sphere around the planet is weakening. And so the solar flares are going to be increasing in intensity or felt intensity because the poles are weakening and shifting a bit.
So what about the argument that the Earth wasn't facing the sun at that time? At least for America.
Okay, so if you go to the Space Weatherman, he has like a 2-minute video where he
I don't want to
explains
go to the
this.
Space Weatherman. I want you to answer the question.
Okay. Essentially, the West Coast was on the edge of the dispersal. The primary impact point for one of the solar flares, because there was two, one of the solar flares primarily hit the Pacific Ocean, and it hit the coastal edge of the United States, or the West Coast, into the Rockies and whatnot, from what I have off the top of my head.
Okay.
And then the other impact was the Indian Ocean.
Okay. That's kind of far apart. Well, yeah. Sort of.
Well,
It's like a huge ass
solar
landmass separating them.
Well, it was two different solar flares that happened.
Two different solar flares. Okay. So one hit the Pacific, one hit the Indian Ocean.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. You believe that?
And yeah, this may be I mean, I don't have, super space knowledge and whatnot. I haven't studied the topic super deeply, but, it seems like a pretty convincing case from, the information I've heard.
Okay. Interesting. I can't say for certain one way or another. I'm just very skeptical. Every time we get news from outer space, I'm like, bullshit. I believe it just.
For all I know, the
I
world
believe
could
it
be
like
flat,
I believe it like the space, like the moon landing. To me, it's just like, all right, yeah. If they tell us it was solar flares, then it was something else. That's just how I think. But you could be right.
The solar flares might be the reason the billionaires are all building bunkers right now. It might be the reason Denver, has underground bunkers and whatnot.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
you
kind
talking
of one of
about
the
like
theories.
over there by the airport?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. That airport is mad strange. You ever been to that airport?
Yeah, I live in Colorado.
Oh, you live in Colorado? Okay, yeah. That airport's hilarious, man. Like you drive through, you got that horse. I remember having to take a bunch of different trips because we went out there and I had to pick up some homies from the airport. But I took a bunch of trips around that airport. And they got the horse and all types of Illuminati shit. Even inside the airport was, had some Illuminati shit going on. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And it's like one of the only airports with a subway system.
Oh, yeah, I did hear about that. Yeah.
I mean, that's just standard procedure to go from check-in to the gate as you get on a little subway.
Yeah.
It's just way bigger than any other airport I've been in.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Hey, appreciate the information. You said, what's his name? Spaceman?
Space Weatherman.
Space
Ben
Weatherman.
Davidson. He also has a YouTube channel, all that.
Okay. I'm going to check him out.
Cool. It's quite a deep rabbit hole, so get your tinfoil ready.
Oh, I'm always ready, bro. I'm always. He's not going to be able to tell me nothing I probably already haven't heard, so I'll take a look.
Cool. Hotep and Bill.
Hotep and Bill. I used to be all into that fucking space shit. This was definitely a decade ago when I was just digging through everything until I reached a point where I was like, I need to learn some shit that's actually going to help me. Space Weatherman. There he goes.
Call from
Rudy.
What's going on, brother? How you doing today? Happy Hotep Thursday.
Happy Hotep Thursday, man. What's happening?
What's good with you? All right, I just want to break down something real quick, man. January 2019, World Economic Forum, G20 countries, headed up by Bill Gates, WHO, hold a little event called Event 201.
Yeah.
What's going to happen to the world when a pandemic comes down the pipeline? 2020, they drop a virus on us. 2021, the same members, the same people, hold a thing called Cyber Polygon to talk about cyber attacks and what happens if the grid comes down. In 2021, they hold a whole little gaming thing about, hey, man, what's going to happen if the grid comes down? They do the numbers, who's going to die, what's going to happen. And all of a sudden, I'm supposed to believe there was a solar flare in the middle of the night. Maybe they're just floating out their little test balloon about what's going to happen, man. Let's just knock out AT&T for a night and see how people react to it. Yep. Because I don't believe, and I'm supposed to believe the mainstream media who told me, go get a vaccine, it'll stop the virus dead in its track. Wait a minute, you need a booster. Now you need another one. Now you need another one. And I'm supposed to listen to science, man. I'm supposed to listen to scientists, man. I'm supposed to believe anything.
Yeah.
Come on, man. Cyber Polygon, man. I was throwing it in the chat left and right, man. I wish you would have Googled that up and showed how all them people got together. Cyber Polygon. WEF Cyber Polygon. The same fucks that got together and talked about the same people who did Event 201 held the Cyber Polygon Forum. You know what I'm saying? In 2021. The same people.
Yeah.
What would happen if the grid goes down? Cyber attack, Dude, they're going to drop the grid on us regardless, man.
Right.
You got to think about it.
That's how I'm looking at it. Like, I feel like it's just like, all right, so basically what they're saying is they're going to drop the grid, blame it on solar, solar, and then they're going to have to pass some legislation that takes away rights, right? That's how I'm looking at it.
Dude, do you understand? All right, everybody that's a diabetic that has to take insulin has to be frozen, man. You're talking about 10 million people that would die in the first 2 weeks, man. In the first 2 weeks, just because their insulin can't be kept frozen. And how are they going to keep, how are they going to stay alive? You're going to kill 10 million, and just in the U.S., you're going to kill 10 million diabetics in the first 2 weeks. Then your cities are going to turn into shitholes and savage. I mean, that's going to last about 30 days. Until every dog eats dog out there. You know what I mean? So you got Bill Gates years ago in the TED Talk talking about, well, with vaccines and this, and we could get the world's population down to a couple billion people. This is what these people think. Listen to you. You got Harari. Listen to what comes out of the WEF because, like you always say, man, he who controls the money controls the world. Well, these fuckers control all the money, man.
Right.
They control all the fucking money. And yeah, you know, these billionaires building bunkers because they know they're like, there's some homesteaders, there's some savages out there doing their own fucking thing off the grid. They're not building the bunkers because of the solar flare. They're building the bunkers because of the aggravated fucks that might be like, yo, man, let's go find Zuckerberg.
Yeah.
Let's go find Gates.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But
yeah.
I just hope they let us have the Grifties and then drop the shit, man, because I want to meet everybody.
Grifties, no solar flare is stopping the Grifties. Let's be clear.
Let's go. Let's go, brother. Let's go,
fight
man.
the sun.
Let's go. Let's go. And then with religion, man, with religion, you know what I'm saying? Everybody needs to be open-minded to whatever. Don't, like you were like my Christian brothers, don't get offended. Don't get offended, man. Keep your mind open, man. Keep your mind open. Everybody's got their own faith. You know what I'm saying? You don't need no, as a former Catholic, I don't need no stupid priest to bring me closer to God. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But if somebody has some, keep your mind open to all knowledge, man. Keep your mind open to all knowledge. Don't stomp your feet and saying, I'm right, you're wrong. I'm right, you're wrong. I'm right, you're wrong. Remember that organized religion, the Catholic religion, the Jewish religion, the Islamic faith, it's all manipulation, man. When you're in a big-ass church, they're manipulating you, man. The Catholics have been manipulated. Not to say that the average run-of-the-mill Catholic's not a great human being, but those people telling you how to live, listen, look at what they've done. They've raped kids. They've pillaged. You look at the Muslim faith, not to say that the average Muslim ain't a great human being, man. He just wants to live his life and raise his family. But you got a radical sect of that'll go blow somebody up. And then look at Bibi over there preaching all this fucking, this is biblical, while they slaughter. The day it popped off, you had a live FaceTime, me, you, and Unc. And I told you that night, I said, bro, they're going to turn that place into a parking lot. Day one of that shit. October 7th, that night, you had the emergency live stream. You were FaceTiming, taking calls. Oh, that's right. I told you, I said, brother, they're going to turn that place into a fucking parking lot.
Yeah.
Was I right or was I right, man?
Yeah. They still in the process now.
They're still in the process, bro.
Yeah.
They're still in the process, man. Hey, you know he is, man, because he's the... Don't even get me started on that guy, dude. Don't ever... I just want to put it out there right now, man. Ben Shapiro, man, I will definitely... I'm 48 years old, Ben. I'm an out of shape white guy. Come fight me, dude, for charity, man. Come fight me for charity, you piece of shit. Anyway, man, I love you, man. I can't wait till tonight, man. I'll see everybody at the Grifties, man. Just keep your mind open, keep your head on a swivel, and know, this isn't by chance. It's not a solar flare. It's a test balloon, man. Let's see how they act if we just knock out AT&T for a few hours on the west coast of America.
Yeah.
And look at how they're acting. Oh my God, I lost my phone. I couldn't make a phone call. You better have more than a phone.
That's facts.
You better have more than a phone. You better have some fishing rods, fishing lines, ammunition, firearms, Kevlar, water treatment, storable food, and get ready to hunker down. When they drop that shit, you better be ready for at least 4 to 6 months, because it's going to be 4 to 6 months before they ever turn it back on. They want hundreds of millions in America and billions worldwide dead. They want y'all dead. They've been saying it for years. The WEF, dead. We're useless eaters. Eat the bugs. You'll own nothing and be happy. These are the people who control the money. The IMF, the House of Saud. These are the people who control the money. So look to the Hoteps, man. Look to the Hoteps for truth. Keep your mind open, head on the swivel, man. I love everybody, man. We're going to enjoy the ride, man.
Yes,
We're
sir.
going to enjoy the ride as long as we enjoy the ride. And when it comes time, and that Apache's rolling down on you, stand 10 toes down with 2 middle fingers up, man. Let's go, baby. Let's go, man.
All right, man. Appreciate you, Hotep and Bill.
Hotep and Bill.
We got a couple more callers here. Let's watch this video. I want to watch this video about the solar flares.
Good morning, folks. We are sun-focused here today. Twin X-class solar flares erupted at the northern sunspots as the group gained magnetic complexity after central development. We'll hit 2 quick science articles as well, but we are starting with the last 24 hours on our star. You'll see 2 flashes at the northern group and 2 other eruptions as well, one from the bottom left at the limb and the other a plasma filament towards the departing limb on the right. We're going to take a better look at all of them here. We're going to start with the X-ray flux chart, which shows the 2 big flaring events as the spikes into X-class range on the right. They both erupted from that northern sunspot group. There was also a longer duration M-class flare near the bottom solar crown. Luckily, the X-class events were relatively impulsive and they did not create coronal mass ejections. Those northern sunspots gained
did not create coronal mass ejections. Let's continue.
A bit of magnetic complexity near the front central region of the sunspots and began after a plasma release near the leading umbra that began destabilizing the umbral magnetic fields within the active region, which then ended up triggering the flares. You can see how the flash erupted towards the leading half of the sunspot region. Now, while neither of those events created CMEs, they both ionized the ionosphere and caused radio blackouts in the area affected. First one hit the central and west Pacific.
So he's saying there was an effect on the ionosphere. Okay, let's continue.
Region, while the second one was centered on the Indian Ocean. We'll keep monitoring that sunspot group today for more eruptive activity. Up next, we'll take a quick look at the 2 CMEs. The first one was from a long-duration M flare off the south incoming there. That one will miss the Earth. And the other came from one of the plasma filaments.
Look like the sun been taking apex.
Hotep, you're a genius. HotepJesus.com.
That was departing the Earth-facing half of the sun and erupted directly outward to the right. Will also miss our planet. A couple days of quiet have ended, and the solar eruption watch is now back in full swing with those northern sunspots. 2 articles we wanted to share this morning. The first is the isostatic readjustment on the east coast of the United States due to post-glacial rebound effects, and at the rates listed. This completely explains all of the so-called sea level rise in the area. That rise and fall of land is responsible for nearly all the alleged change in water levels at the coasts around the world. The other study follows up the 2 pre-earthquake total electron content articles yesterday, but this one is on the magnetic field signals in those pre-seismic areas. While the total electron content can change for days beforehand, the magnetic field changes peak a day to an hour before the quake. Much more precise forecasting tool. We greatly appreciate your support. It's all eyes on the sun. We'll do this.
All right, now there's a second video that's published an hour ago. So this is more updated.
Hey folks, as you saw in the morning show, we had twin X-class solar flares erupt from the northern sunspots. They caused a significant ionospheric ionization and excited the Earth's magnetic field. The ionospheric excitement also amplified the global electric circuit throughout the atmosphere, and the big question a lot of you are asking is whether these solar flares were responsible for the major network outages today, which began right after the second flare event. Now, the NOAA Space Weather Prediction Center, the official government arm in charge of solar activity monitoring, has said that the solar flares are unlikely to be the cause of the widespread cellular network outages. I am not sure on what they base this statement of it being unlikely, and of course, as information developed, turns out it was much more than just cellular networks. Banks, internet, Google, cable, Starlink, social media, Microsoft, DoorDash, Amazon, Gmail, and many more began having serious issues at the same time. These networks are not connected to one another in such a way that we can easily blame anything else, including hacking. This broader scope makes NOAA's claim of unlikely more and more unlikely to be accurate. Last night's video was about how the solar impact on the atmosphere is becoming amplified as Earth's magnetic field weakens. We have previously gone over how this also applies to the physiological impacts, especially on the cardiac system, and on the psychological, emotional elements. And while it's been a while since we covered the technological aspect, it of course applies here too. Not only does the widespread outage of networks scream space weather impact, but technology is becoming more and more vulnerable every day that the magnetic field weakens and the magnetic poles shift. If it was hacking, It was a hacking effort on a scale never before seen on Earth, and they timed it.
Yeah, I don't think it was a hack.
To be right when the solar blasts occurred. There can be no certainty either way at this moment, but I do have to say the best and most reasonable explanation at this time is that the ionospheric and global electric circuit impact from the back-to-back X-class solar flares triggered these disruptions of the communication and infrastructure networks. I'll see you in the morning for the Daily Show.
I like that explanation. I actually like that explanation because that makes more sense to me. That makes more sense. There was an impact on the ionosphere, and the ionosphere impacted our technology. Now that makes sense. Because he did say before there was no ejaculations from the sun or some shit like that, right? Now that makes sense. That makes sense. So maybe it was solar flare impact. I don't know. He said he's not sure. If he's the expert and he's not sure, I'm definitely not about to say I'm sure. But let me go ahead and subscribe to this channel. I like science shit like this sometimes, you know? And he seems like he knows what he's talking about. And he's got the different, readings and whatnot. Where was that? He had the different, seismic charts and all of that. To show the effects. So maybe that was in the other video. So, yeah, that was in the other video. It was a good video. Good stuff. Who's was that? Jack told us about that? Or was that, no, that was Brendan. I think that was Brendan the machinist. Let's get Ronan in here. Ronan, call her. I gotta see what's up with Jev. I was supposed to have a meeting with Jev today. And I want to make sure that. Why don't I have Jev's phone number? We're going to get Ronan in here and Dre. Ronan and Dre about to call in. What do y'all think? He legit, famo? He seems legit. He definitely seems legit. Oh, Jeff, you right here. Oh, sweet. Jeff, we're going to talk right after this stream, man. Let me handle these last few calls. Is that cool, Jeff? Is that cool? We connect right after this stream? I'm glad you're here. So I ain't got your. I just realized I went to go type in a text message Jeff and you didn't pop up. I'm like, wait, I don't got Jeff's phone number. Why did I think I had your number? Read a book called Worlds in Collision. Interesting.
Call from
Dre. What's up, man?
What's up? Hotep.
Hotep.
We've been having solar flares from time the sun been in the sky. How come it's only now it affecting technology? I mean, like I already told you for the first time I called it, I'm not a smart person. I'm very, very dumb. So somebody who is more wiser than me, can they please explain it to me? We've been having solar flares for the longest time. Massive coronal ejection. Right?
Yeah.
So why is only now that it's affecting technology? Now I understand that the ionosphere is where most of these signals go up. I know the guy that runs X, the supposed savior Elon, he wanted to have like a bunch of small satellites under the ionosphere. He also, he had a company. I don't hear anything more about it because when I used to be doing my hunting, so I could find little companies that I could invest in where I can make a little quick change to help my stressed financial situation. So, I know he wanted to do that. So, but I understand with the signals and stuff like that, they could interfere with the ionosphere. But still, these things have been going on from time we moved from those big computers that took up like a whole room, like a whole floor in a warehouse, till when we got them small like how we have them today. So how come it's only now that it's affected it, right? So that don't make any sense to me. Now, you were talking about religious stuff earlier. I don't have no religion because if you break down the word religion, read, meaning go back, and ligere, which is like, the root word that, ligament, which means ligament tie the muscle to the bone. You know what I mean? Religion means basically tying yourself back to God. I've never been cut off from God. So organized religion is what the problem is at, because organized religion is basically like a political party. And so you get politics into believing a certain way, like how they have Catholic as the Orthodox way of being a Christian, which is not, because Jesus, the Jesus character, he went out there and he just spoke. He spoke to people. That's all it was. And just said you're supposed to live a certain way. You know what I mean? And the Catholic came with all of these rules, no meat on Friday and all these type of crazy stuff, the convents of man, which, in the book of James, they talk about, that we need to avoid that, which religion is. Religion is something that man made up. So, and as for the medical physical aspect, we all have a way that we can touch into that. That's what partially what dreams are. Now, they claim that you don't remember most of your dreams, but the dreams that you do remember, I got a funny feeling, that's us living our life in a different universe, and we just kind of tapped into it some kind of how. Because, like I said, they're going to discover one day that we exist on more than one place and in more than one reality. That's going to come out. Now, I'm a firm believer that religion, the devil created the religion. Because he got cut off from God, thrown out of heaven, and he trying to find his way back. So that's why he created religion, to make sure that us regular folks that's coming, that's here on earth, we don't connect to the divine. So I'm not telling you not to believe in God. I'm not telling you to be agnostic or anything or atheist or anything like that. I'm just saying, you personally will have a connection to God that say that I wouldn't have. You know what I mean? And there's nothing wrong with that, because my idea of God is like a 120-sided shape, mystical shape. You know what I mean? 120 different sides that we can't see. We can only see little itsy-bitsy pieces of it. And because we can only see little itsy-bitsy pieces of it and not the whole picture, we basically go off our own knowledge, which basically is flawed. So I hope you can understand where I'm trying to get at with this.
Well, I believe what this is called common sense extrapolation, right? You're just using, good old common sense to be skeptical. And I think that's healthy. I think it's absolutely healthy, and we need that.
Okay. All right. I just want to make sure that you kind of understand, because I know it sounds kind of gibberishy.
Yeah.
But if
we
you
follow.
really sit down and think, okay, like I said, if you really sit down and think about it, right? Basically, all religion is, okay, have you watched like the original Conan the Barbarian? When him and Sabotai, the Hykranian bow and arrow guy, they were talking about their gods and stuff like that. That's basically all religion is. My God better than yours. You know what I mean? And if you don't want to believe it, we gonna knock up. And you know what I mean? My God will help me beat you, so that's how I know my God is superior. That low level type of thinking. But basically, all religion is, for people who claim that they cut off from God, that they try to reconnect to God. When you don't have to, when you don't have to go through all of these rituals and all of that. All of that was man-made, because man needs stories to be told for them to grip in. The 85% of us. The 15% of us. The 50% of the people who supposed to be the rulers, the 5%ers, they understand and they tap into that more easily than, say, the 85% who need stories and allegories to bring them across that bridge. So me personally, I was never like that, because I've always had a question in mind. So those things, if it didn't make sense to me, I'm gonna ask questions. I'm I mean, I've been kicked out of Sunday school, as a kid for years. That I used to like it that I didn't have to come to a big service, that the teachers didn't want me in their class because I'll ask them some strong and pointed questions. So, and another thing too, I've heard in the Virgin Islands that AT&T wasn't working either. But getting back, like I said, with the solar flares and stuff like that, we've been having solar flares for God knows how long. How come, how come it's only affecting technology now?
Yeah.
And it's every 13 years, the sun does this. You know what I mean? If you look into almanac, you look back into the weather and stuff like that, every 13 years, and this is a 13-year cycle that the sun is going to be active. So, and one last quick thing before I go, like with all of these people building up bunkers and stuff like that, they do it because something coming. You know what I mean? I got a couple of ideas. I think that the pole's going to shift again, like it did a long, long time ago. And, you know what I mean? The people who want the population reduction, they going to get it. They might get caught up in that mix too and be reduced, but that's a thing that's also going to happen. And then, one last thing. I haven't heard nobody talk about it. The fires that they had in Hawaii, in Maui, some other place had it. And other places that had the same shade of blue on their roofs, they didn't get destroyed. So I believe, these ultra-rich people, they're up there in space where us normal plebes can't look, and they're doing their all kind of junk. You know what I mean? I'm hearing stories about the moon is turning red because it's rusted and people are claiming some biblical stuff. So all I can do is say, Revelation is predictive programming as far as I'm concerned. So, but like I said, I don't believe in them stories and them fairy tales. Those are for the kids-minded people to drag them along. So, but like with me and my scattered thoughts right now, all I gotta do is tell you we've been having solar flares for the longest time, and how come it's only now this stuff is affecting stuff? Like I said, they're figuring out ways how they're gonna hem us up and use that to, enhance the control grid. And with them saying that we gonna have nothing and enjoy and be happy, I think it got something to do with NVR goggles. That's just me. I want to look into it a little bit more before I open my mouth fully on it. But I believe that's the way we gonna have nothing and be happy.
Yeah.
So.
Well, wise words, man. Thank you. I appreciate that.
All right, then. Hotep and Bill.
Hotep and Bill. Koofy on fucking tight. Ronan, my bad. Call in Ronan. Ronan was trying to get in here. Ions. Yeah, ions are, group of atoms with negative or positive charge. I think it's taking me back to fucking 10th grade science and shit, man. What sphere satellites? How high up do the satellites go? So the satellites do appear to be in the atmosphere. Ronan, what's up, man?
Not too much, Hotep.
They got me going down this rabbit hole of fucking solar flares, man. What's up, yo?
Yeah, it's kind of funny because I want to support what Rudy the Vet was saying, in that I don't know if any people remember, but I think it was maybe 2 years ago we had a major cyber attack on our health infrastructure. And it was right around the same time that the Cyber Polygon conference was going on.
Damn.
And so I think, to also jump onto what the author was saying in that interview, when he was talking about this is a great reset for the banks, I would look at Cyber Polygon as the great reset for the internet, for our power grid. Because, I think if you were to tie in CBDC with Cyber Polygon and that great reset with the banks, you're essentially restarting the entire system. And, it would be foolish to think that they do not understand. If we're going to look at this from an occult perspective, if they are well aware of the occult magical implications of certain numbers, practices, and what have you, it would be foolish of us to not think that they aren't aware of same types of practices that can connect with the solar flares. You know, it's just like there is clearly a connection that's going on there, and I just think that it's just leading towards the Great Reset from another avenue. You know, it's kind of funny how, you know, if you go way far back in ancient texts, they talk about a time before there was no moon. So, you know, what is it to say that they aren't aware of these major pole shift that's supposed to come that's hundreds and thousands of years long overdue? And unless you want to tie that into any of the past, you know, cataclysms that destroyed past civilizations, you can then run the theory of, well, are the pyramids bunkers? Are all these various, you know, megalithic structures, whether the Eye of Petra or in Turkey with these underground cities that have air ventilation systems, Göbekli Tepe, which was buried purposely, knowing of these massive megalithic or cataclysm events that are happening. You know, I think if we look to the past in terms of ancient civilizations and how they responded to these types of events, and how our previous caller was talking about solar flares, they discussed solar flares back then. There were solar flare incidents happening in the early 1800s, 1900s. You know, you talk about what Tesla was doing. There were rumors that Tesla was messing around with the ionic sphere. So, and wrapping it up, it's all I'm trying to say is that it must be a little bit of nature and a little bit of controlling the nature and a little bit of just prepping for these events that simultaneously happen all the time. We live in cycles. So it's never ending. The only problem is, you know, people who are willing, like, you know, Hotep groups and stuff like that are outside of the cycle, they see this cycle coming and they're able to prep for it. And that might also coincide with, you know, Zuckerberg and many of these people who are outside of the circle because, like that classic toy with the circle and the stick, they're the ones that are steering the circle. So they know, you know, where to go and how to react. So just something to keep in mind for everyone, that I think that this is a multi-spiritual, technological world attack that we're dealing with. You know, they love their transhumanism, but they seem to forget, you know, when they talk about their transhumanism, they're also boasting about a new form of religion. So I think it's all part of the plan. So
man, I like that. That's a great balanced take. It's a little bit of nature, it's a little bit of man, and they're gonna exploit it. And I do remember Nikola Tesla, not Elon. Nikola Tesla talking about his technology, you know, beaming up to the ionosphere or bouncing signals off of the ionosphere or something like that. I do remember studying that, yeah.
And, you know, let's not forget that when Tesla passed away, Trump's great-grandfather, who was working the FBI, you know, took some of those manuscripts and what have you. So, you know, add that into the whole conspiracy bubble.
Oh, man, here we go.
Much love and Hotep and build, y'all.
Much love, Hotep and build. Phone lines closed. What are y'all saying in the chat? Today's show has me feeling fucking great to be alive. That's what's up, Emily. How do I feel about Jesse Lee Peterson? I don't feel nothing. He's just like, isn't he like a character? He plays like a character on the internet, right? Like, he plays like a coon character on the internet. I don't know what he's like in real life, but on the internet he plays a coon, right? Where he's like, black people are bad and white people are good. So like, I don't know if I'm assuming he's playing a character. I'm assuming it's entertainment, and that's not really what he's about. Or maybe he is and he plays it up. I don't know. I don't take him serious. You know, if somebody's playing a character on the internet for LOLs, you kind of just gotta enjoy it for entertainment, I'm pretty sure, right? Like, you can't feed into it and take it serious. Like, some people look at him, they're like, oh, I can't stand that guy. And I'm like, it's just comedy, right? Like, it's just entertainment. You think he believes what he says? Maybe. Yeah, maybe he does. I don't know. But at the end of the day, he's definitely playing a character, I think. Because if that's really him, then he's just, I don't know, weird, mentally challenged. He's brutally honest. I don't know if I call it brutal honesty. Hook him up with Uncle Hotep. Him and Uncle Hotep, I think Uncle Hotep was on his show. Wasn't Uncle Hotep on his show? Yeah. 2017. Y'all got to remember, Uncle Hotep was the first black man with a MAGA hat. That's what you got to understand. So, Unc been grifting. Here it go right here. Uncle Hotep, our black women god. This is on Jesse Lee
Known
Peterson.
as Uncle Hotep, also known as Handy Mayhem. Hotep, welcome to the show, sir.
Hey, thanks for having me, Jesse. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I appreciate you coming on. What is...
Coons of a feather flock together.
Hotep, you're a genius. HotepJesus.com.
You see Unc with the MAGA hat. You see him with the camel MAGA hat 6 years ago. We ain't new to this. We stay true to this.
What is Hotep? What does that mean?
I want to see.
Responsibility. I don't like to say it exists. Some people might not like me because who I am, but that doesn't bother me at all.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's their fault. They don't like me.
This is a 7-minute clip. I don't know if this is the full interview, but yeah, go watch that. Uncle Hotep was with Uncle Hotep talked to. That's old. He been did that. Yeah. He been did that. What up, Lauren? Yeah, Shaka was on there too. Him and Shaka got into it. I didn't like the way he disrespected Shaka though. He was kind of like, like Shaka came to be serious and Jesse Lee Peterson doesn't do serious. So it didn't really make for a fun watch because one person's like trying to be serious and educate and the other person is just trolling, So it's kind of like they're on two different pages. Jeremy R., thank you for the super. A good warning to keep physical cash on hand. Yeah, you got to keep a Fannie Willis stash of cash on hand. Definitely, a couple of racks at least, a couple of $100, something, something to get you through a hard time. I think it's offline CBDCs are going to be one of those things where they go, hey, listen, the grade went down. We got offline CBDCs. We got to make sure the financial system keeps rolling. Download the wallet. You know what I mean? Yeah, Unc's a pioneer. Unc's a pioneer in this space. He's the one that introduced me to this whole conservative space. That was Unc's white voice. You heard him, right? You heard him code switch? Unc was out here code switching on Jesse Lee's show. I don't know. Great stream though. I'm glad we found at least a little bit of clarity in regard to these solar flares. I think Ronan knocked it out the park the best. A little bit of nature. We learned about, ionosphere. So apparently the exosphere and something sphere, what did they say? The exosphere and the stratosphere or something? No. Exosphere and the stratosphere. It's two spheres that are in the ionosphere. Ionosphere is made up of two other spheres. And the ionosphere is the outermost sphere of the Earth. Obviously filled with a bunch of ions, and maybe they're negatively charged. I don't fucking know. So the solar flare hits the ionosphere. Satellites are in the ionosphere, and yeah, they get affected. If satellites are in the ionosphere, I don't know. Whatever. Just get low. It's election season. Who knows what the fuck they're gonna hit us with? We got UFOs and aliens. Wendy Williams' brain ain't working. CPAC this weekend. Grifties March 9th. Make sure you get your tickets. I think the real winner here is the fact that the sun is benefiting from Apex with its coronal ejaculations. Shout out to the sun taking Apex. The Griftosphere. Shout out to the sun at Apex. Get your Apex. QR code on the screen does work. Save 30%. Link is also in the description box below. Get your testosterone, muscle growth, support. And that's at menoforder.com. Link in the description box below. Shout out to Syscoin. Appreciate you. Can't wait to get y'all all in the Super Dap. And we'll be back tonight. I'm about to go get refreshed. I'm about to go talk to Jeff, have a meeting with Jeff, and get him caught up to speed on Men of Order and all of that, because he's been away. And yeah, I'll see y'all tonight, 8 p.m. for Hotep's Been Told You. Be well, stay merry, tell somebody in your family that you love them, and as always, Hotep and Build.
Envision a sanctuary where community and sustainability are the cornerstones of living. In this haven, every family is able to grow their own food, children flourish through homeschooling tailored to unlock their full potential, and education extends beyond textbooks, instilling self-worth and a deep understanding of the world around them. Here, goodwill isn't just an ideal, it's the essence of daily life, where respect for law and order harmonizes with the community's resourcefulness. This place isn't just a dream, it's a call to action for everyone who believes in a better, more connected way of living. Join us in building a future where each individual's contributions create a tapestry of enduring harmony and prosperity. Join us in Hotepistan,